Okay, welcome to Nerd Church. We are back once again this week, down one. We swapped a warlock for a druid last time, and we did it again this time. But never fear, your warlock is here, just being autopiloted today by yours truly. As a quick review, last week, it was last week, this time.
Yeah.
I was talking like we were on Critical Role or something, but this time it's for real. Last week, after uncovering the secret of the village of Teshiar, this long hidden city or village of lycanthropes hiding in solidarity here in the quasi jungles at the mouth of the river. Once their secret was revealed, your party approached somewhat cautiously. Some of you were cautious, some of you were not. Pando, not super cautious.
Freya, not either.
Very excited to meet the animal folk. Freya, just handsy. Just kind of...
Really wanted to be friends with Red.
Just-
He wanted to beat me up.
just real handsy with the Warthog Man. But after some smooth talking and some bold transparency from members of your party, the chieftain Fensel, decided to risk sharing the village's greatest secret, which is that it is essentially under the control, the unwilling control of a mage, one Estereth Tantathian, who has been holding hostage the son of the chieftain, Fensel's son Yarbo, as well as Rent's daughter, Truffle, and has also repeatedly threatened destruction and death to the village if they do not do as he commands. You spent some time chatting about what they had observed, gathered some intelligence about the comings and goings of Estereth. You learned that he tends to come out of his sort of stronghold that is hidden underneath the community center, tends to come out once a day at the sort of high noon-ish time to have a meal in the sun and bathe in the lake. That doesn't always happen, but Melf the were-sturgeon, and I didn't listen back enough to remember if we named the were-axolotl.
No, we didn't. But it needs a really cute name.
Yeah, its name is Smiley Joe.
Smiley Joe.
Smiley Joe the were-axolotl and Melf the were-sturgeon, unbeknownst to the wizard, have been keeping an eye, and it seems that he did come out and do his routine yesterday, but apparently, or perhaps, at least as far as you can tell, was unaware of your presence around the perimeter of the lake, even though you did battle an awakened tree that you now believe was a minion or perhaps a creation of this wizard. You got a little bit of intel from Yen, Fensel's daughter, to give you a sense of what this stronghold might look like. A reasonably large underground laboratory. And Samuel, the sort of local, let's call him philosopher, shared with you that he also got a peek inside at one point and saw strange machinery, large glass tubes, glowing purple goo, and that has all been enough, it seems, to connect in your mind that you have traced the next facet, let's say, of the supply chain of evil. And you were secreted away in a sort of retreat of Samuel's, the hollowed out center of one of the floating trees out in the orchard, where you were able to take a long rest and spend some time strategizing and planning your tactics for the day. So with that, as the morning sun starts to rise, Samuel kind of calls down to you that his time with you will soon be over for the day, and asks if you have a plan.
Well, I think, I've been thinking about this, guys. If what's his name, bad dude guy,
Estereth Tentathian.
Estereth Tentathian decides to bathe today, and we find out that he's bathing, we should probably take our chances. But if he doesn't bathe, then we should try to see if we can get in.
I think that what we
Had talked about.
yes, of observing his bathing ritual and getting a gauge and a sense of how much time. I think running at this.
Seeing if the thing is open.
I
If
just
he
don't
leaves-
want anybody to lose another ear as we run at this.
Well, I also don't want any of the kids to die.
It sounds like the kids have been taken for a while. There's a chance that the kids
It is very
might be
true.
dead.
They might be dead.
Because
Okay.
So-
they haven't seen any glimpses
We
of
don't.
the kids.
But he
We
did-
don't know anything yet.
And-
Well,
So we do actually.
sorry, I
have-
should say, Fensel told you that the children have occasionally been brought out to as
to
like
go
a
around.
reminder and a threat not to mess with him.
Okay.
So while they haven't seen their children recently, it's not like they've been gone. It's not like they haven't seen their kids for months.
We just
So what
haven't.
you're-
We just don't know anything yet.
We don't know anything yet. And I guess we do have a few extra days. So if he bathes today and he doesn't bathe for 3 more days, then we're going to stick around and we're going to just risk being seen.
I think by the end of 3 days that we would end up having a pretty good plan on what we would do.
Yes.
It's not like
We-
we're going to just time stops and we
Well-
stop thinking about our problem.
And it's important to know, though, to remember, though, that each day that we wait, we risk exposing the...
It's same as if we weren't here at all. So it's better to go in with a plan
Yeah,
And
I agree.
than just to run at it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not saying just run at it. Let's watch him.
Okay, so then we're in agreement that we're just going to watch him today.
But
Gather
what
some
if
intelligence.
we have a chance?
Like I can figure out what this pink goo is and how it fits in with all of this.
Looks purple to me. Are you colorblind?
It depends on the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I was just throwing that out there. Do we want to? I mean, I guess we do have our time. My cricket, by the way, where is my cricket? Cricket's out in the woods, isn't she?
Yeah, I was assuming that you all left your crickets
Back
sort
in
of
the woods.
tied
yeah,
up
yeah.
a ways outside the village.
Those
I
who
didn't
have
tie her
them.
up, but we talked and
Not
we
everyone
asked
has a
her to
cricket.
stick around.
I
Yeah.
do like the idea of a plan. I feel like we've been really good and really lucky and really unlucky in different situations. And so I like the idea of coming up with a plan.
I mean, the one thing that I can think of would be what does his lab look like when he's out bathing?
Yeah.
I was
To
going to
have
say,
like eyes on that would be great.
if you could go see what the state of the lock is, and if you can peek around maybe even down there while he's bathing, and we continue to watch him, do some recon over in that area if he bathes.
I think we should just, again, today, and I don't think that that's the best use of my time. I think finding out if there is a connection between
The goo.
this goo. I don't understand how goo would work and why there wasn't a cage inside unless they're not connected at all.
We
And
do
from
need to
Panda's
do a-
perspective, I could even, coming in late because Panda was daydreaming a lot over the course of the last day. But I could also wild shape into something that could potentially
There you
get
go.
close. I don't know if he has any conversations during his bathing time. I
What
don't know if he says or does anything.
He
I
knows
think I can
that-
swim.
he knows that the where things are conscious when they're in their
Yes.
pure animal form.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he 100% knows like every single animal that's around. So something that
Yeah.
kind of blends in could totally
Mm-hmm.
be good there.
I can swim.
I can,
I think you can turn into swimming creatures now.
So when I looked it up, I get sorry, out of character for a second, confused because the levels do not line up to my levels. Like the CR level doesn't match mine, and so I'm looking at my wild shape
Right.
now, and I know I cannot fly.
but,
But I thought
but
swim
you could
was
maybe
in the mix.
be an axolotl if you saw one.
What level are you again?
5. But my CR, second max CR, 4th.
Yeah, so once you're past 4th level,
Mm-hmm.
you can transform into beasts that have a swim speed.
Yes,
Once you hit 8th level,
that's
you
fly.
can fly.
Okay, I knew flying
but
was
because
out.
you're Circle of the Moon, the CR rules are different for you.
And that's where I get a little confused.
Yeah.
But
Well, Freya could also.
I've seen a lot of animals now in this town.
I think it should be an axolotl.
It has.
Freya can also swim. I could kind of find a stealthy place to hide myself, camouflage myself along in the water. And that actually might be the best idea for me because I can observe and I think that I am less conspicuous depending on the place that I choose inside the water.
And if you
Or you
want
could go and see what the door looks like. You could stake out the door.
I could. How close is the door to the water? Can I swim around the other side and sneak up there? Like that?
Oh, well, the door's in the community center.
I know, but is there a place from where he swims to where he bathes usually that I could get around and sneak out?
So you can kind of imagine that on this artist's rendering, that the community center is kind of up here.
Okay.
Right? It's sort of built into this large,
Does he go
Island.
down there to
But-
bathe?
but the lake is down here. So
So he does
the
a
river
whole.
kind of pours over these cascades and fills in the lake down here. So you see the sort of wood down at the bottom of this drawing. Imagine that is sort of the start of this long pier that juts way out into the lake.
Am I able to come up this way and come up like this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
there's
maybe
bridges
that's what I'll
that
kinda
connect to
do.
the island on both sides.
No matter if he's on a walkabout then or whatever, if you want me to go and look, I just don't know if the thing is locked. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to.
Well, just go and see if the
it's
portal
locked or
is left
unlocked?
unlocked when he's gone.
Okay, I'll go and see that. Maybe I'll peek inside. Tell Truffle we're coming. Maybe.
Okay, so the plan I'm hearing so far is when the animals go to sleep and you all wake up from your long rest, Pando's wild shaping into something that swims. You're trying to sneak around to visit the community center, and you and Air are doing what?
am going to be working on identifying this pink goo and trying to, or purple, trying to sew it all together.
Okay. My guess is that Air would look at Freya and gently say, maybe someone should come with you who's used to sneaking. That'll be me. I'll be the one who'll come with you.
couldn't it technically be that we're in an urban environment? And I might roll at advantage here. I'm just saying, there's animals around.
It does
Air's-
look like a whole city to me.
Air's gonna volunteer to come with Freya.
Yeah, okay, that's probably not a bad idea.
Because she can't turn into a fish, and she's not going to help with purple goo. So I think she's going to volunteer to come with Freya.
Oh, and Air can fly.
Air can now cast fly.
Yeah, so Air could
Yeah.
fly.
That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
That's a
So
pretty cool
Air can
thing.
follow
Although,
me. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah, there it
flying
is,
is the best. What happened to the wine? Is it still
I think it's upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me grab
Okay, well, let's start with purple goo.
Okay.
Tell me about your plan. So
Well-
Samuel, by the way, as the sun rises and you start to see glints of light through the tree, the cracks of the crown of the tree, you see Samuel on one of the perches up there rapidly transform back into the shape of a regular ass toucan, and then with
I
sort
like
of a
Samuel.
quick squawk, he flaps his wings and flies off. You assume in the direction of the village.
Yeah, Samuel is kind of fun. There was some Samuel Potham banter last time.
They are like-minded. Yeah, right now it's CR1 is still your max, which is still way more than any other druid could
Absolutely.
do.
I just love when I read about the circle of the moon and the like even right here, it's like circle forms is where the option gets problematic for CRs. I'm like, math.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
welcome.
We'll first scan the goo with the tricorder to see what we can just determine from it, and by that I mean I cast Identify.
Okay, very good. When you let me read the description of the Identify spell real quick. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Cool. All right. So, you cast Identify on the purple goo. In order to cast Identify on the purple goo, you must touch it for the full 1 minute casting time.
Sure. I'll be holding the jar that it's in.
Nope.
Oh,
If you
Oh,
want to
I gotta-
identify the goo,
I gotta.
you got to stick your finger in the goo. I just want to be clear that that's the cost of casting Identify.
For a regular caster, but I'm a artificer. I gotta wield some tools to.
Sure. But if you want to identify this goo, you got to make contact with the goo.
All right. Then let's make contact with the goo.
I would like you to make a... I think this would be a con save.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah.
a Constitution
I think
save
it's
to
a
me.
Constitution saving throw.
Do.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Ah, crap.
I don't know if it is a con save. Hang on. No, it's a wisdom save.
Great.
Please make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this property magic?
Yeah,
Great.
it's very magic.
It's
Great.
so magic.
You know what? I get advantage on wisdom saves against magic.
Good to be a gnome.
Woo!
That's a natty 20,
That's
which gives me a 21, but I'm going to just roll it again. Just in
sure, why
case.
not? Just in case.
Just to see if you can get
Nope,
to
the
it.
21 is better.
Weird.
The second one was a 9, everyone listening at home.
9 would have been more fun, I will say.
I would-
But
sure.
for me. So you get your tools out. You start. A little of this goes in a beaker, under over a Bunsen. A little of this gets spread out on some sheets of paper that are treated with different chemicals. A little of it gets, experimented on in different ways. The majority of it you save. You don't actually need to use up much of this to run these
Right.
experiments. But there is a couple tests that that you recognize have some risk, but they're the only ways you know to find out if something is a thing or not.
Stick your fingers in it.
Allergy test.
An allergy to and put a little in.
Well, I mean, one of those is honestly a little low tech, but you dip your pinky in and, you just kind of rub it on your gums and see what happens. And what happens is your gums wiggle.
They come alive. The
They-
cells come.
That's the only way you can really describe it. Your gums
They're
aren't
dancing.
your gums aren't muscles, so they shouldn't wiggle, and you know that. But that's what they're doing, and they only do it for a little bit, and not for a long time. It seems like your kind of gnomish solidity overcomes the wiggle pretty quickly, but for a second, your gums wiggle. Your teeth stay. But there was an extra animation going on there for a second, and that was something new for you to experience. But as you finish your experiments, a few things become clear to you. So first, this goo is an item. It's a substance imbued with magic. But more specifically than that, it is a combination of substances. You would define it much more as a byproduct of a magical process. So the actual chemical composition of this is a strange blend of animal and plant. There are aspects of this that are similar to like the viscous humors, let's say, of whatever the goo inside a bug is. Whatever I don't know what their replacement of blood is for bugs. They don't have blood. They got something else.
Yeah.
No.
Exo blood.
Sure, exo. they've got whatever that is.
The cream filling.
The cream
Yeah.
filling of
Yeah.
bugs. It's some strange magical combination of that and sap. And the only thing you can glean from this is that whatever this goo is, it's what's left over when two things that are very different have been mashed together with magic in a way that wasn't intended. And you know that the school of magic that makes this happen is called transmutation. This is transmutation magic. But you also can see the very obvious signature of a magical power source that you recognize because you built it. It's got a lot of waste and a lot of it's dirty. Right? There's a dirty version. So like if you were one of the UN investigators that flew around the world to track nuclear weapons or reactors and things like that, you would look at this and go, oh, nobody stole this nuclear material from like an EU nuclear reactor. Somebody like threw this together
In their garage.
Somebody-
This is a garage job.
Somebody built a tokamak reactor in an old airplane hangar and enriched uranium there. Right. This is some Iran uranium, not U.S. uranium. Right. So there's a signature here. Like you can see it, and it's familiar but dirty. The last thing you know about it is it's rapidly decaying. So it's clear to you this doesn't have longevity. Whatever was made of this is falling apart fast. So that's what you're able to understand with the identify spell.
Is this a baby? Is this like what after you've mashed it together and this is the like just kind of how the waste gets or the secondary you said that the goo is a secondary kind of a waste product of the battery itself.
No, it's to be clear, the signature of your battery's power shows up in the magical signature of this
Sure.
goo. The goo itself is a byproduct of the process of magically slamming together and merging animal and plant
I
material
gotcha. Okay.
while it is still alive through transmutation.
Sounds crazy.
That
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
Like that process leaves a lot of leftovers
Sure.
because they're not supposed to fit together. Some parts do, but all the stuff that didn't blurges out. It's just left over, and that stuff is full of this dirty energy.
Sure.
It's like Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's
He's the
hilarious.
crap left over. It's Danny DeVito.
That's
With
right.
like an extra set of teeth right here.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
It was my.
Okay. Great.
Alrighty.
It's
I
a
wanna
it's a
take
lot less
more.
a baby and a lot closer to like amniotic fluid.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if the amniotic fluid was infected and
With
Yeah.
with you know
and
spice.
radioactive.
blue spice.
Spicy.
Spice.
Great.
So that was
Sounds-
fun. That was a fun
Yeah.
thing that you learned.
It's one of those where
And
we're
you
just
rubbed it
gonna
on your
sit down.
gums.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit down for a minute.
Yeah. And maybe brush your teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you're all alone right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just by himself.
I just picture you like,
Just by himself in a hollow tree.
Do I take more of this? Or do I...
your little finger is like.
Is this my path to greatness? Meanwhile,
I wonder if I
Pando.
can franchise this.
what are you wild shaping into?
Panda would like to wild shape into a constrictor snake
Okay.
because it has adaptability in multiple environments. It can slither into the water.
Indeed.
Slither out.
I hate it, but I'm glad
A
you've made
Burmese
it.
pie.
But you've made a choice, and
They can definitely swim.
that's good. It's my least favorite thing.
Because you don't like snakes?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
snakes are good luck.
Yeah. My kids, we've been taking our kids to the zoo since they were the tiniest.
Yeah.
And they only in the year after the pandemic did they for the first time find out that there are snakes in the reptile house.
Because you were like, no, my.
Because there's a path you can take through the reptile house, the
With
Milwaukee
no
Zoo,
snakes.
that that does not ever come near the snakes.
Mhm.
You just go in, and if you hang a left and stay close to the fish,
Mhm.
you don't come anywhere near the stupid king cobra. Why there would be one of those in there, I cannot imagine, and why it would be right next to the
Well,
front
and
door.
as
I
you
don't-
know from Harry Potter,
I
there's
was
a risk.
just gonna say.
Thank you.
Real
There's a risk.
Thank you.
Real risk.
Magic can make that glass disappear anytime,
I really
and it's
believe
going to be
in
one of
magic.
my kids, of course, who's got
Who's gonna
magic
be like,
powers. You're a wizard, Gabe! Great. And now the king cobra's out and talking to people.
Oh,
So-
I just picture him being like, I know.
Yeah, and then you whip around,
Yeah.
and when you come
Yeah.
to the other side, there's a extra exit. You don't have to finish the loop, because everything that's left on that loop is just a wall of snakes.
Yeah.
So we just never bothered. We just left
That's
and
cute.
go on to the nocturnal habitat.
And now they know they've been lied to.
Well, but now I never have to go to the zoo again.
I can't wait to tell Gabe that I am a snake tonight. Extra hissy and slithery.
So
I
hissy.
love
All right.
that.
Anyway, you're a
It's in my
constrictor
heart.
snake.
hmm Do you need any of the stats and information?
Well, that depends if you get in a fight.
I'm
So
hoping not, but
we'll
okay.
see. It seems to me that depends a lot
Yeah.
on you and your choices.
Hannah's just very excited to be in a new shape. She hasn't done this one before.
I'm like, hey, you want to go for a swim quick?
I'm like,
It's fun because I swim like an alligator.
All right, so you slippery snake your way into the water.
Yes.
Constrictor snakes do not have gills, so you can't breathe underwater.
Mhm.
But you could dive and stuff for a little bit. You could
Yeah.
hold your breath for a bit.
And you have
Um,
just a tiny little head, so
Right, it's just like-
you know, it's good. You can just
Oh,
yeah.
so you're just going to be a regular ass constrictor snake, not a giant constrictor.
no, although it is a large beast, but I'm not a giant.
But
I'm a
even
Well,
constrictor snake.
a large beast is giant.
Yeah, is giant.
A,
Oh.
a large
thought they
beast is
actually had to
substantially
say-
bigger than any of you.
So it says a large beast,
Yeah.
constrictor snake, but I thought there was another one that was like giant, and that's above my pay grade.
Well, that could be the case.
Okay.
But if it's describing you as a large beast,
Mm-hmm.
you're a good 15 feet long.
Awesome.
No,
Mm.
but Yes, for you. All right.
She's kind of slithering, kind of
Really
dancing.
glad you all decided that I got to imagine this tonight. All right. So this 15-foot long constrictor
Fair trade,
snake.
surgeon horror.
Okay, well, that was
You
out
could
of
still,
character.
you could still have your body mostly down in the water, and your little head can
Toads.
just peek up.
She's just
All
like
right.
long stretching.
So into the water you go. How long does your wild shape last? Let's talk about that because this is
I believe an hour, but let me confirm.
25 minutes.
2 hours.
Ooh,
man, circle of the moon. Okay, so we need to talk about when you do this.
that.
Now you can wild shape a
Absolutely.
few times,
Right.
But what you've been told is, dude comes out of his hole around lunch.
Yeah.
So when are you wild shaping and when are you swimmy time?
So I'm guessing where I am at this point. They're all animals and sleeping. I'm guessing we're on the Outer Banks. That's where
We're on
we
a
slept.
floating tree.
You're in a floating tree,
cute.
in the center of a floating tree in the middle of the lake.
Okay.
in Samuel's little
Sneaky
Sneaky hidey
hole.
place.
From
We
where
didn't
we
get that far in
are,
the car.
can we see where he exits?
From where you are, you can see the dock, sort of the dock and marketplace.
Okay.
And you can see the big island.
Mm-hmm. There's
you can't
no need for
specifically
me.
see like the community center's entrance from this far away.
There's no need for me to wild shape until I get a glimpse of him, right?
Okay.
And especially because there are animals all around. Like, I'm just gonna pop into the water then and head his direction.
Okay. So you're going to stay in the tree and try to find a position from within the tree that you can
To just
see
catch a glimpse
the
of him, yeah.
docks. Okay.
Did remind me? Did Samuel fly away, or is he?
He flew off.
He's just toucaned up with. Is anybody weird up with us?
No, there's
No,
no.
nobody
It's just
else.
you guys. Then.
Well, they sleep during the day, right?
Yeah,
That's their
but they're
thing.
I mean,
Watch.
during the day they are animals
Mm-hmm.
for all intents and purposes.
But they're conscious. They just can't. They're animals, but they know what's going on. Okay, okay, that was my. I think it would be a good idea, if Air and I, if I swim out to the far side of the island here, kind of. But the reason I was asking that is what we probably should have done is come up with a plan for Samuel, if he can kind of be watchful and possibly give us a signal or two, I don't know if we can call him back over or if we see anybody else, to ask if somebody could just signal us, Aaron and I.
understand our language even when they're in animal form?
Well, here's the thing, that I could speak with them.
Yeah. Well, so
Someone.
I think what I would say is when they're in animal form, they truly are animals.
Mm-hmm.
The nuance of this is they remember when they wake up what happened, but they're not conscious in the same sense as.
But they are watching him. They're spying on him during the day
right.
in an organized way.
Yeah. So there's some intention, but they're not. It's not as if they just stay awake 24 hours a day all day
Sure,
all
sure,
the
sure.
time, and are acting actively like that. So the best they can describe it to you is they have some ability to guide their intentions, and when they take on their quasi-human forms again at night, they remember what happened during the day. I don't think that Samuel or others would be able to, quote unquote, help you while the sun is up. So they're not going to be able to like come give you a signal when he's out and about.
Okay, fair.
In that way.
So I think what we should do is, hey Gabe, I think that Aaron and I should sneak down kind of over to the far side of the island and kind of sneak up to a place where he wouldn't come this direction. He would be going down that way where we can kind of spy and see if we see him come out.
Sure.
So what I'm going to say to Air is, I know this isn't going to be your favorite thing. However, I'm going to offload my weapons, except I will keep my shield and Morningstar and my battle axe, my one-handed battle axe, and Air can ride on my back if she likes,
Okay.
and we'll swim up over here.
All right. I think she's fine with that.
Okay.
I think Air would probably suggest that that y'all should just get up there early because the intelligence suggests that this guy doesn't come out till
Predictable
You know,
times. So.
noon. So if you were in position or at least around the corner and out of sight early enough, there'd be a lower risk.
Yeah. I
so
think
y'all
we should
can
go now.
Make your way over there.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a stealth check
Sure.
for your journey over, and I'll make one for Air here.
Are you guys leaving from the same tree that I'm on?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ironically,
That's what I
ever since Air got herself a suit of half plate armor, she's now probably the least stealthy in your group, as she rolls at disadvantage and gets
Oh,
an
dear.
8
I
on
got
stealth.
it. And I got a
Air.
12. Great.
So
Although the question is, can I roll at advantage in a city full of animals?
no, not even a little bit. You're a You're a dragonborn. You're a humanoid dragon. So no one ever has confused you with a jungle animal ever, and never will.
Not even in the water as an alligator? In a
I
place
mean-
where there's no alligators? Okay.
Yeah. So you
So
know,
that's a no
so you're not
then.
going to roll at advantage. But
So you're saying there's a
But there's
chance?
nothing going on right now.
but as far as you know, you do not encounter any difficulties
It's
uh,
really good wine.
as you leave the island.
It's a good choice.
Swim your way around and make your way across and up the side of the island. So
Yeah.
you and Air are now positioned essentially on the opposite side of the island from the community center.
And we're going to make our way up just a little bit and try to just kind of hide in the bushes at some place that... Cause
You want line of sight
we
on the
would
community
like
center?
at least some type of line of sight, if not the community center, but somewhere down to where we could even see down over there, or somewhere that we could intercept and
Okay.
see if he's walking around.
Either you can make a survival check at advantage, or
I'll
Air
do it.
can make one and you can make one.
I'll do it at advantage. 21. That was an 18 plus 3 or 13. 21.
21's very good. So you and Air hunt around a little bit up here, and you find a sort of cleft in the rock that the two of you can comfortably settle into. There's some overgrowth in front of this area that you feel confident blocks the sight of you and will prevent any like glints off of armor or anything like that. But conveniently, through the branches of this sort of shrubbery, you've got clear line of sight to a lot of the lake, the areas of the dock that are uncovered, and while not necessarily the front door of the community center, the road outside of it, that's the sort of gravel path that leads down. So it's a pretty good spot from which to observe, and you settle in, I assume, to keep watch.
We are watching.
Okay. Very good. So, the morning sun rises and eventually breaks through the canopy, shining down onto this lake and the river flowing by. As all of you are, with the exception of Potom, who's experimenting with chemicals, the rest of you are settled into a little anxious, are settled into a time of quiet observation, and you're just sucked into kind of the peace and tranquility of this space. It is, especially for you, Pando, it is a even though it's a humanoid habitation, this place feels deeply immersed in the wild. It is.
You're feeling John Denver right now.
Yeah. It's beautiful. First of all, like the sun is sparkling off of these small cascades as the river flows down into the lake. The
favorite guest.
the trees are kind of rustling softly. Beautiful tropical birds are flying here and there among the fruit trees. It's a spectacular place. It's one of those moments of natural beauty and wonder that everyone has at different moments in their life, but I think particularly for Air and Pando, who have spent a lot of their lives in urban environments, it's perhaps a little overwhelming and emotional. Freya, you've had moments like this, but they've been watching, wisps of snow blow across icy tundra as maybe a herd of aurochs, trudges across the plains just south of your village, or standing near the peak of one of the sharp mountain ranges outside of the Sawtooth Mountains,
outside of Grimshammer.
And looking out across just leagues and leagues of territory, watching the sunrise over the lip of the world. Potham, you're not seeing this, so you don't have any emotions, but your gums are wiggling.
I was just gonna say, you're like,
I got a party going on right here.
Yeah, there's a party in your mouth, and everyone's
party in
invited.
your mouth.
Yeah. But as you kind of soak this in, hours go by, and nothing stirs in the village. The sun climbs higher and higher into the sky. From time to time, you spot animals roaming through the streets, flying overhead. You see some ripples in the water of the lake. I want Air and Freya to make a perception check, please. Ooh, good job, Air.
Good job, Air.
Maybe that's the
got
DM's
a
dice.
10.
Why am I using the DM's dice?
Because those are weighted. And we already know
Yeah.
that.
And Air has a +0 on perception, but that's a natural 19.
Sweet.
So
I only had a 10.
Air's seeing clearly.
Perfect.
So maybe you're a little caught up in the view or whatever.
I'm taking
But
a little snooze.
there's a moment as the sun starts to climb pretty high and the day is becoming warmer, that Air suddenly kind of jabs you in the ribs and silently kind of nods her head in the direction of the village, and you look down and see a figure walking down the road, a humanoid figure walking down the road just outside the community center, heading downhill towards the
Away from us.
away from you,
Right.
heading downhill towards the docks.
Perfect.
In this figure's hand is a basket, and they're wearing a sort of deep forest green hooded robe.
Gargamel.
Gargamel. Can we see if the door is left open or not?
No, you do not have a view from here of the front door of the
Of the front
community
door.
center.
That's right. You
No.
said that. Okay. Well, we're going to start sneaking around back this direction down toward the community center, away from where he's walking. So it's behind him.
All right, very good. I want you to once again then make a stealth check. Air is going to do the same.
Can we do that at advantage since we're behind him?
No. No, you may not. Man, Air's bad at stealth.
1.
That's even worse.
No,
I
that's
still
awful.
think it should be an advantage because
Air-
he's walking away
Air-
from us.
Air got an 8. The DC was really low on this.
But neither of us passed it.
No, he did very poorly. So here's it's
No, it was
Da-da.
terrible.
no, it was really
Dun-dun. It was
Basically the worst.
Don't you, did you want everybody to know where you were?
Now-
No, you did terrible.
as a reminder.
I fell down the cliff and climbed back up.
As a reminder, the dice are not indicative of your skill or ability. The dice are the voice of fate.
Right,
And
right. My favorite.
so as the two of you sneak your way,
You made her all hot.
Well,
That's hormones.
it's a lot of anxiety.
That's hormones.
As the two of you
And
sneak your way along a fairly steep area of the higher portions of this island, trying to make your way up and around and behind the community center, there is a moment where what looks like a sturdy root kind of poking out from the side of a sort of sandstone cliff. You put your full weight on it and it just tears itself out of the side. And not a huge, but a sort of tiny avalanche takes place. And it makes a significant noise.
does air have any spell that they
Hang on,
can
I got
cast?
one other cool thing.
Okay, cool.
just have to
I was gonna
roll
say
one.
for a sort of
The noise that you make is luckily offset by the fact that you and Air both slide in this avalanche and are essentially buried in a big, a huge bush. It's a little prickly and thorny. You don't take any damage. It's not comfortable, but at the bottom of this like small embankment that just collapsed under you, you essentially fall into a bunch of shrubs and are hidden from view, which is lucky because
we definitely
in
drew
response
attention to
in
ourselves.
response to the noise, you're able to see through the bushes that the hooded figure stops and turns and looks back up the hill.
Ooh.
They pause for a long moment, sort of looking and scanning up on the hillside before eventually sort of shaking their head slightly, turning around and continuing to walk
idiot
down
animal.
towards the docks.
Okay, whew. Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna climb back up and very gingerly climb back up and start to make our way down over there.
So, Pando, I'm going to give you a risk-reward choice here.
Okay. Last time we did that, I lost Beetle.
Yeah, this one's less intense, probably.
you.
Well, who knows? We'll see.
Then I lost an ear. I'm listening.
Let's
Just
go.
here.
I'm half listening. You can choose a place to observe the lake that is up in the branches of this tree, where it is a little harder for you to be hidden, but where you will have a much better view to see when somebody arrives. Or you can choose to post up at sort of the entrance that is at the base of the tree, down among the roots, where you do not have the best angle to see the docks, but you are much more concealed. Where do you want to post up?
Do we know definitively where he bathes?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, let me restate that. The observation over and over and over again has been that he walks out to the end of the docks and jumps in to bathe from there. So, like where he swims, what he does, that
Sure.
depends every day. But where he enters the water tends to be at the very end of the docks. So the docks extend all the way. The deepest point he can get to from the pier is where he tends to set up his picnic and swim.
And did Panda witness that as well as him descending
That depends
already?
a whole lot on where.
Oh,
on
I have
your
to choose that
decision.
first?
Yeah, we're going back in time here
I
a little
gotcha.
bit.
Sorry.
So that I know.
Okay.
That's okay.
She could be a snake up in the tree.
Sure, you can. So then the question I have to ask is: this is a different plan than we talked about before. The plan before was you were watching, and then when you saw me, you were going to turn into a snake.
Yeah. So we're
So-
way back in time.
Yeah, I'm asking like retcon back at the beginning. You said you were going to wait and watch.
Yeah. So this is
I want to know where you're waiting and watching.
okay. So I thought it was a log. This is like an actual.
No, this is a
tree.
it's a very
Okay.
big. So this lake it has well over a dozen
Mm-hmm.
massive trees.
Okay. I
Uh,
literally was picturing Panda just like on a log.
Nope. These are massive trees, so big that the four of you spent the night inside one of them. That has a
Okay.
little bit of a hollowed out space, and they have huge root balls that float
Yeah.
like islands out in this lake.
Yeah.
You're inside one of them.
Okay. So I think if I need to see where he goes, then I have to be up in the tree so that I can see when he's coming down. And it looks like there are two sides he could choose, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to miss his whole
Okay.
swim session just because I'm at the roots.
So here's what
If he
you
swims.
get to do.
If he swims.
You get to make a stealth check
Okay.
at disadvantage,
Okay.
and you get to make
Roll twice, take
a
the lowest.
perception check
Mhm.
at advantage.
Okay, here we go, kids. Here we go. Here we go. Let's not do that one. Here we go. I got 10 and 11 for my stealth.
Okay, so that's a 10
And then perception.
at advantage.
That's a 9. That's
Come on. There
15.
we go.
Really?
Okay.
Whew.
All right, so
Phew.
a 15 on perception and a 10 on stealth.
Mhm.
So here's what happens. Perched up in the boughs of this tree, you are watching the docks and the island closely. And you have pretty keen eyes as an elf. And though you are caught up in the majesty of this environment, you also are pretty in tune to kind of the energy and the sounds of this place. Like you've been hanging out for a couple hours this morning, just absorbing the vibe. And before you see anything, you actually notice a subtle change in that vibe. There's a bird that flutters off from the island, looking startled. There's just a shift in the feel of things.
Mhm.
And so you spot this robed figure, this with this heavy cowl over their head and their basket in their hand, fairly early when they're still making their way down the hill on the island. And so you have enough advance warning to make your transformation. When do you think Panda would make the transformation? Where in this, like as this person's walking
Sure.
down?
She knows she has a 2-hour time limit, and she doesn't know how long he's going to take when he's in the water, and she doesn't know what he does beforehand. So I would say she would make that transformation as he got at least a little bit closer to the bottom. Not like right when he's exiting, but as he's getting closer to the bottom. And being perceptive, she would wait for a time when he's not just like looking in her direction.
Okay. All right, very good. So, the figure you notice when they're about 3/4 of the way down the hill suddenly stops, freezes, and turns rapidly and looks up the hill. And following the direction of the figure's gaze, you see some dirt and rocks sort of tumbling down up there. There's a long pause as the figure scans about a little bit, and you take the opportunity when they're turned about to make your transformation, and you slither your way down.
But like a happy slither.
A very happy, a delighted slither down the tree and into the water. A short time later, the figure emerges from the end of the covered pier, sets the basket down, and opens it up and begins to enjoy a lunch. Tell me about your plan now, snaky druid.
Snaky mix
So,
snakes.
full disclosure, she gets a little bit distracted at the fact that she's a snake. She hasn't been in this kind of a body before. And it's very long, and she can swim, and so...
And so bendy.
so bendy. So she does a few kind of like swirly laps because, you know, she's excited. And then something kicks in, and she remembers, like,
Just a little.
okay, this is good. And she remembers, I have a mission.
Very good.
And so I would say that Pando, not getting too close because she's observing. She doesn't need to like hear or interact or bite his face. By the way, she also has constrict as one of her.
Oh, I like
Should she
it.
need it?
Should she need to wrap herself around his ankle?
Right?
Keep him there for a minute.
So she's, it's a beautiful sunny day. She's just kind of hanging out in the water, doing a snake thing. Not too close, but so that she can see what he's having for lunch.
Okay.
But not too splish splashy at the top
No,
either.
she's
Yeah.
really, really just like mellow floating. She also doesn't
Right.
want to scare him or like make him feel
Draw
like he's
his
in
attention.
danger.
So
yeah.
we rarely get a chance to use this particular skill,
Sweet.
but I would like you to roll a performance check.
Ooh.
Because you are literally a snake, but you are not
A snake.
a snake. So this is you pretending to be a snake in the wild, and we'll see how good you are at performing and convincing him that, oh, this is just a regular snake
She's
snaking
decent.
around.
She's 15 decent.
Yeah, yeah, she
Mhm.
is.
Pretty good.
She's got her snake wiggle down.
So happy I went to that belly dancing class.
Right? She's like,
Okay.
I don't know where my belly is in this, but here we go.
This is going great.
So convincing.
So
I'm scared
you
myself.
kind of snake around. You don't get too close. You keep a cold, dead reptilian eye on this guy from as time goes on,
They're bright blue.
and he. Okay. You get close enough to first of all identify that this is a man,
Mm-hmm.
an elvish man, and you are noticed by him. So you see him seeing you. But as time goes
And
on,
I go, be a snake.
yeah,
Be a
Just
snake.
keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
as time goes on, it seems clear that he considers you to just be a part of the wildlife here. He does not appear concerned. You see, he lifts his cowl after a short time and begins unpacking his lunch. This elf is he's not handsome, but he is striking. He has very strong features, extremely sharp, high cheekbones, a very long, pointed chin, dark eyes, almost exaggerated, angular eyebrows, longer ears than you've seen, longer points on his ears than you've seen on most elves.
That hits hard.
He's I'm describing it this way for you as players, but not for Pando in the game.
Okay.
But he's like, he leans towards Fae. He's got big Fae energy,
Okay.
right? Now you've seen elves like this,
Mhm.
okay? So this is not me saying anything
No.
about who this dude is, but like on the spectrum of how elves look
Yeah.
in this world, they look all kinds of ways.
Yes.
This guy, that's how this guy looks, right? There's a lot of,
Side note, my island in Animal Crossing is called Fae Island.
nice.
If you watch Carnival Row.
Um, he has almost copper-colored skin, like to the point where it even seems to reflect the sunlight a little bit.
Yeah.
In that way, and long dark hair that kind of flows back over his head, well past shoulder length. As he unpacks the basket, you see an array of fine foods and a bottle of wine, a crystal goblet.
You get that triple cream
got-
brie.
It's got some fruit, some cheeses, a variety of little breads and crackers and things, and he lounges for 30, 45 minutes, just casually enjoying his lunch, soaking in the sun. He looks very comfortable and happy. Anything going on on while that's happening?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to choose, but I don't know, it just seems incongruous with like kidnapping children and like holding a city hostage. Although villains sometimes do have good taste in wine. I'm just wondering if
Often.
there's like
Fine, Chianti.
if there's like an insight check or like some kind of a check that I can do to be like, is he face value villain?
Sure.
Or is there something
I mean,
more
an insight
happening?
check, you most assuredly.
He leans towards Faye. He's got copper hair skin. He's got black hair. He kidnaps children. Is he evil?
just saying.
I don't know.
I'm just
It demands an insight check.
I feel like I Tucker Carlsoned this just now.
Right.
I am reading a series.
Anything's fine to say if you say it as a question.
Right.
Have we learned nothing from... Have we learned nothing from Nazi Jeopardy?
Right.
So I just feel like I read the first book in his series where like the villain was the good guy was the villain, and like
Yeah, they love
I
to
missed
switch
last
that
session.
around.
I just want a little insight.
Hey, I love an insight check.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Heroes lost all of its viewers in season 3 because we couldn't figure out what Silas was any longer.
Right.
Seriously, like sometimes you just kind of you want to know.
Dang it, Silas.
Silas.
Um,
Well, and then
I rolled a
nobody
13 for my
Yeah.
insight.
Okay.
That's true.
And
too.
again, I'm just looking to be like, is this face value villain? Straight up, black and white. Or is there more complexity to this?
Here's what I'll say. With a 13 in the body of a snake, observing from a distance
Sweet
In the
snake,
water.
awesome snake.
while dude eats lunch,
Uh-huh.
you're not getting like a deep read
Okay.
on
It's
his
fair.
humanity.
Mhm. Elvishness.
Even when that's a really good trait of yours to be able to read
Yeah.
humanity.
I mean, he seems chill.
Mhm.
He's not hurting any children right now.
But I mean, even villains have day jobs sometimes.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean-
I'm not.
I'll. This is the closest I can give you. He seems to be really relishing this moment. Like he's really enjoying himself. He is.
So he's either a total psychopath,
He's indulging
or
in this moment.
he himself is a prisoner to something, and this is his moment of freedom.
Yeah, I mean, you can infer whatever you want from that. Yeah.
I just like to look at your face, and I say something crazy to see if it'll get something away. All right, I'm gonna keep snaking.
All right, keep snaking around. So, hang on. He finishes up his lunch. A little. What's the adverb I'm looking for here?
Reluctantly.
Almost prissily, not pedantic. What am I trying to say?
I
Like
see
he's
what
very,
you're
very
saying.
precise,
He was,
intentional. It's a guy that cares about cleanliness,
A bit
and doing
finicky.
things just the right way.
I mean, he
So
brought out like
there's
the
a
good
very
crystal
specific
for his
term I'm
dock
looking
lunch.
for here, and it's escaping me, which bothers me as a
Precise,
user of
finicky.
language. But you get the idea. So
Yep.
he packs his lunch back up into the basket before he does anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is neatly folded and precisely put away, very carefully, and then he stands and begins to disrobe.
So, can I ask a question here?
Yeah.
So, it's not going to take us 40 minutes to walk down from there to there.
Oh no.
So, if he walked over, he's been lunching for 40 minutes, I figure we got like a 45-minute gap in here for what we're doing, correct? Before he even begins to disrobe.
Yep.
So,
you are.
if we sneak on down there, can we see if the door's open?
Yes.
Meticulous?
Meticulous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meticulous.
Yes, that's exactly
Excellent. Excellent.
It was in all of our brains.
it. It was.
Can I have a little more
Of course you can.
And then don't let me
Let's
have
drink
any
it till it's gone.
more. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so whilst this snaky observation is going on, Freya and Air, you make your way down to the community center. As you calmly and deliberately make your way around the perimeter of this building, you see that the front door of the community center is closed. And as you approach to enter, I assume, you discover that the door is unlocked.
Can Air check for traps?
Yeah, Air can. Air makes an investigation check. She rolls a 9.
No.
All clear, she says to you. I checked it. We're good.
Okay.
And then
is
she
it like
opens
a
the door.
doorknob? You pull.
It's just a push.
She
Or it's
opens
a-
the
just a
door.
pull.
She pushes.
These
the
are just
door.
the external swinging doors.
And what happens now?
She pulls them open and walks inside. And inside you see what you saw yesterday. This essentially sort of theater in the round setup.
Close the doors behind us.
Okay. The central stage area which you know conceals the hidden door is disassembled just like it was before. Well, not just like it was before, actually, differently than it was before. So it's clear to you at a glance that the people of the village reassembled the stage, but that
Oh, I'd
when-
never seen it though, myself.
You didn't even go inside?
I didn't go
ever?
inside. I
Oh.
don't-
Well, Air did.
Yeah, Air was
Oh,
standing
Air
right
did.
next to it.
Air did. Yeah.
Yeah, so Air can tell at a glance that the villagers must have reassembled the stage that hides the door, but that it has now been removed again to give access to the door for this person to leave. And you see that same trap door closed in front of you.
Can we do an investigation check on that?
Yeah, what are you attempting to
I
investigate?
just want to see if it's. I'd like Air to see if it looks the same as before, if it's locked, if that Arcana is still.
Okay.
Or maybe is it an Arcana check? Like it.
Yeah, Air will investigate.
Okay.
Check it out. It's a solid 10. Air's rolling so well tonight.
Air.
Oh, she'd be so mad.
Yeah. So Air gets up close, doesn't touch it, but takes a really close look, and looks back at you and says, "Yeah, I don't know. It's
What an Air thing to say.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely closed.
Air, would you?
It's still got these little glowy runes on it.
Do you think we could open it?
I ain't touching it. You touch it.
I want
Could
a night where you
could I
do
go up there?
impressions of
Could I
Aqua.
just kind of could Freya do an investigation check also? And-
Sure, yeah, you go ahead. Let me get out of your way.
Freya licks the lock.
Oh, it's like touching a 9-volt battery.
Like I'm dancing.
All right, you get
Out
up
of
real
10.
close, just like Air did. Look real close at it. Breathe on it. Your investigation takes about twice as long as Air's did, but then you
Yields the same
but
result.
then you look back at Air and go, "Oh,
I've never even seen this.
this is my first time."
Hey, do we have? Are there? Can we peek around and see if there's any animals looking at us?
Sure, make a
Okay.
perception check.
Perception check. Great. Okay. Well, at least I got 14 this time. That's not the worst.
The
Best.
You do not see any animals in the building.
Okay.
And even a quick peek out the door, none are immediately obvious to you.
Okay. I'm looking at this thing. So it's got glowing runes on it, right?
It does. Specifically, the runes are inscribed around the keyhole. And Potom informed you when you were strategizing at bedtime that those runes were a spell that he recognized that or the spell that makes a lock an arcane lock, which protects it with magic. This particular arcane lock, the runes include the name of the wizard
Right.
that created it, which Potom knows means that the lock itself is keyed to the life force of this
Right.
wizard.
So he has to touch it for the lock to unlock
If it's locked.
if it's locked. Well, I think maybe we should just see if this is locked or not.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Right. Well, we've checked for traps.
I literally-
Both you and I have.
I literally can't imagine anything bad that could happen if we just try to open this.
Oh, it's gonna be bad. I already know this.
Wait.
Let's just kind of gingerly see if the door would maybe open a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, you're so excited.
You know what? I don't
You
know
only
why.
hinted something so hard.
I don't know why I picked up this die because I don't
Need
have
to?
to roll for anything. You grab the door handle and you start to pull up, and as you do, it doesn't budge at all.
Nothing.
There's no response. Pando.
Oh.
The
Getting a good glimpse of our Fey wizard.
okay,
Let me see.
just googling Fey
No,
Fey
it's
dudes.
Rysan from what I'm reading currently.
Yes.
Continue.
That's got naughty fanfic all over it.
Oh my word. And then some.
All right, so just wait till the fanfic about our campaign starts.
I cannot
Right.
wait.
Who's
But
standing
if you want the
who?
naughtiest Fae series I've ever read in my life, A Court of Thorn and Roses, I can lend it to you.
Alex is like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I got
whatever. Whatever.
Is that ADHD Faye thing? Can I have your attention?
Right.
Sure. What do you need? Such a good meme.
It's so
That
good.
delighted me. Yeah.
There are days where I'm like, boop, 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 one thing, boop, 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 and I'm like, damn it, they took it. They took it all.
Curse you, Lord of the Morning. All right, so Pando,
Morning, it's 3 o'clock. How did
As-
it get to be this time?
as this cowled figure is starting to disrobe, they're like like the robe is in an awkward place, right? It's like bunched up on their shoulders as they're
Continue.
starting to get it up, right before the good parts,
Uh-huh.
right? And then
And the snake head goes, ooh,
and then suddenly they freeze
ooh.
and they quickly stick their arms out and shake their robe back down on their head. They abandon the basket, turn, and start walking quickly up the hill.
No, damn it.
Oh, shit.
Well, see, that was going to happen. We knew that. We knew that. So I did. Does there sense anything? I think we're just looking around. We're trying to see if there's anything.
All you know is the door didn't open.
Yeah. Well,
What do you do when you see this, Pando? This figure has very suddenly stopped what they were doing
Yeah.
and is rapidly making their way back up the hill.
Okay. Do they have the other end of the communicator?
that would have been smart.
Since they have the other end of the communicator,
I will allow this. Like
Okay.
again, this is not me trying to like badger you as players, but my assumption is that the party spent part of their time resting, making a plan.
we did.
Yeah, we did.
We planned.
Totally.
He got dancing gums and everything.
No, no.
No.
My assumption is that you made some plans.
Okay.
The fact that you didn't actually make plans on Discord and just decided to Leroy Jenkins it when you got here tonight, I'm not going to hold against you.
Thank you
But I'm
so much.
perfectly willing to say that, like, an experienced group of adventurers would have been like, we're splitting into multiple parties and
Right.
trying to observe a dangerous
Right.
person. Like, maybe we should, and we also have a communication device. Maybe we should hang on to that.
Yeah.
But for funsies,
Yep.
Potam's got the other one.
Oh,
Fuck. But he's back in the tree.
Sure is.
Tasting goo. So she swims back because she's a snake. Swimming is not like off brand. She swims
and
back.
quick.
Yes,
Swim.
she.
What
quick.
is the swim speed of the snake?
fast?
A European swallow.
It's a giant,
European
or it's a large creature.
It's a large
so
creature.
It's very
Practically already there.
right.
30 feet
It
swim.
just stretches out.
I know. Go gadget.
I'm so.
snake.
So passive perception 10, blind sight 10 feet, speed 30 feet.
Okay. So at a dash, you can move 60 feet.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ballpark this here.
Okay.
It takes a little while for you to get back to the tree.
That's fair.
When you get back to the tree, you slither up, you drop your wild shape.
Yeah. I have a technical question about that. Am I wearing clothes?
Yeah, so when you wild shape, all of your possessions
Remain
remain and get incorporated into your
into
wild
the
shape.
magical.
That's
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Recently watched Twilight and like their clothes rip off, and I was
know.
like, "Is that what I do?"
Incredibly
And I just come back like,
inconvenient.
"Hello."
Hello, now I'm fully naked and I lost all my stuff.
Okay.
And now my clothes are ripped up.
I
Anyone
did
grab
was
my
thinking about
stuff?
that.
I know.
From that
No,
battle when I was a bear.
I do legit think about that.
it's
stuff.
fine that I'm a bear and I saved you all, but you didn't grab a crab.
This is the most inconvenient power.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get out of my wild shape, which I have also noted here, and I run up to Potam, Frolic, and tell him.
I transform from a disgusting snake into an elf, and then I prance over to
This is the
Potam.
time that, like, we need to move here, people. I frolic.
Frolicking is quick.
I have an urgent message
I'm
for
an
you.
elf. I can frolic very
I
quickly.
saw Gargamel.
Our friends
Well,
are
it's
about
like-
to die.
You know what? It's like you get this sort of like adrenaline,
Yes.
happy rush when you
Yes.
transform. I mean, I
Absolutely.
could totally see
Yeah.
that.
I'm moving very fast,
Totally
as
see
fast as
that.
I possibly can.
But it's
you
like
know.
a slight
Kind of
state of
frolic.
It's an
euphoria
aggressive
from transforming
prance. It's prancer
shit.
size.
Yes.
She prancer-sizes her way.
Who, a couple of spins up the stairs of, joyful glee.
It's fine.
Well, it's kind of like how ecstasy dumps a whole bunch of serotonin in
Right.
your brain. It's like,
I'll take your word for it. All right, so you reach Potam. Potam has a
Playing with
sort
his
of
gums.
funny look on his face. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like massaging his gums.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I just kind of take his
Weirdo.
hand and I go like this, and I'm like, Potam. I think that
dude,
the
man.
elf guy knows that they are up there in the room.
Great.
Can you warn them?
Oh, so he's not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet.
I just hand over the sending stone. The
And I'm
communicator.
gonna be like, guys, he's coming.
Shit. Run. You want to get on my shoulders? We can run together. You need me to rage? I'll dash.
all right, tell
I'm
me
gonna dash.
the plan.
I say air, get on. I'm dashing.
Okay, so you're just running out of the.
I am
community
running
center.
out. I know he's coming up from this way.
Yeah.
I'm going to run up this direction
Okay.
and look for a place to hide.
All right. We're gonna make a group stealth check. Or
Okay.
you not a group stealth check.
Oh, I'm like,
you and
I'm
Air,
ready.
you and Air are gonna make a stealth check, and we're gonna see how quickly and quietly you can get yourself to a place that is not bad.
Okay.
Wow.
good.
Oh, that's not so bad.
At disadvantage, Air rolled a 21.
Nicely done, Air.
That is lucky for Air.
I rolled a 13. That is not lucky for Freya.
That's
Sufficient.
pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good. The combination of those two is pretty good.
Okay. So from here to like.
You only rolled that once.
Well, but I rolled it with her skill button, so it
Oh,
rolls
I gotcha.
automatically at disadvantage,
Oh.
or it ought to.
No. It's a 1d20 plus 2.
Oh, it didn't.
Oh.
Well, fun times. Let's roll it.
Alex.
What?
You want to? Oh,
17's not bad.
Still
Still
pretty
good.
good. Still pretty good. I feel like it should do that automatically. It's because it's labeled at disadvantage next to the skill for air.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So when I click the skill button, it should roll it automatically at disadvantage. But whatever.
Okay.
Regardless, air's on it. I think probably air wasn't pumped about the idea of you trying to open the door to begin
She was
with.
ready to go.
So she was already by the door and like looking for places you could bolt
Didn't feel
to.
strong about our checking out of the whole area either, just by intuition.
So I think rather than jump on your back, air grabs your wrist and bolts
Okay.
up the road and around a corner and ducks
Perfect.
behind a hut where she has spotted a small garden with these sort of
Trellises.
trellises. Thanks. I was gonna say arbored vines, but trellises with like grapevines and things like that. And she sort of tucks the two of you into the midst of this, in a timely way because the wizard approaches rather quickly, stomps up the hillside, looks around left and right. You see his hands weave in a pattern and hear sort of a whisper.
Can they make out like what he's saying?
No, they're far enough away to be safely hidden. They're just catching a glimpse between the leaves of these grapevines.
Okay.
And after that, whatever spell that was, he turns, ducks inside, and disappears from view into the community center.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna. I'm gonna assume that he's not coming out, honestly, for today, especially if he feels like somebody's touched his stuff. I think that we should head back. I kind of like to see what else he does. If there's any type of
You can keep going.
Oh, I was just going to say if there's any type of... Because he's made these intimidation things before. So I'm wondering if we provoked him enough that he'll make some kind of intimidation move on the village. And I'd like to see if that happens when people switch back, if he comes out and does something. Bottom, what do you think?
Sorry, I was.
No, it's okay.
That's okay.
So we're gonna
have a
head back toward
question.
the island to where Potom is.
I think that we can only actually use the sending stones once a day.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
in
message.
each
That's
direction.
Yeah.
the message is done.
It's done.
Okay.
So we're
Yeah.
not. There's
Yeah.
there's no chit
You
chatting.
and
But
I
you're
are
heading back to the
together on the
island.
tree.
We're gonna come up, sneak around this way,
Yep.
and go back down and swim around to the island that way.
So you guys are doing that.
I want you. Wait. I want
Oh,
you to make
sorry.
one more stealth check
Lord.
as you
This
journey
has not been good for us. Maybe I'll
journey back.
This is your
Roll.
role. I
Yes.
feel
do
it.
my roll.
It's real bad for
12.
air.
It's a 12 for Katie.
Air rolled a 5.
What is wrong with
So
us?
that's bad. But it's irrelevant because, well, maybe it may or may not be irrelevant, but there's no reaction.
There's no reaction.
Panda, what's your question?
Way back when, didn't we come to learn about this beacon because somebody was handing things through like a portal?
Yep. Yeah, they totally are doing that still. That's how he has good food.
This is risky. But what if, and everyone can veto this, we can wait and observe tonight, that's absolutely fine. But what if one of us pretended to be like in alliance with that person and we were like, hey, the connection got cut. We are here to, like on behalf of this.
Telephone repairman.
No. But we're
Postman always rings twice.
I don't know. I just get these work
Comes
orders.
with your cable.
I just
I
get
mean,
these
it's
work
kind of
orders.
that,
They told me
right?
to come here.
But the excuse
I gotta
is
check.
different. The excuse is different to be like, look, it was cut, and we know you're probably wondering why. We don't know why, but I've been sent here to tell you. that the
It's me,
connection-
Supply Chain of Evil Maintenance Department.
And he's like, I just got cheese.
I'm looking for an Esterath,
Look,
Tantathan.
I'm trying to get creative.
Tatala.
Is that you?
I got 11 charisma.
I
That's
will be
charismatic.
there between the hours of 10 and 2.
My dumpster is being delivered between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm like, smaller window, please.
Nailed it.
I'm-
That's a guarantee.
That's a guarantee. We
Um,
will call you.
I'm
4
fine
to 6
observing
hours
tonight.
prior.
They won't even call us. They won't even tell
We
us.
will call you
A dumpster
between
is just
6
gonna
a.m. and
show
6
up.
p.m. to let you know whether we're actually coming.
I'm like, we don't live there.
Yeah.
How will I know it's delivered?
Okay.
All right. I'm just spitballing ideas.
Yeah,
no,
that's
that's
fine.
okay. I like
and
it.
you can spitball
Great.
these ideas because Air and Freya do eventually make their way back to the Hollow Tree
Good.
And-
Observed,
and
obviously.
rejoin
We're just
you, and you circle up to discuss. At this point, it's about
You enter and it's just Pando throwing ideas at Potom, and he's like, I don't think that'll work.
And I'm like, hear me out. I put on a hat.
no. Wait. Do you think he ever orders pizza?
He thought I was a snake. I can do
I
this.
got this. I am one with the multiverse. I can be anything.
I'm just going to tell him
protection.
I'm best friends with that guy. He sent me because he couldn't get away.
Okay, I like
All right.
it.
So
Freya's in support.
it's early afternoon. The four of you are back together.
Okay.
Air looks at Potom and just sort of sighs deeply. And it's kind of turned so the other two of you are not directly in line of sight and goes, this is a cluster.
Yeah, partly because of you, Air. Jesus.
The only one who rolled better than a 15 on stealth the whole trip. And you're like, thanks a lot, Air.
Yeah. No, but he consistently rolled
You
5 the other
saved
times.
me from getting out of the community center in a timely manner. Thanks, Air. My God.
I had to pull you out of a pile of rocks, Air.
No, you fell. You created the avalanche.
However,
However,
Air did not have great
Regardless.
numbers.
Air did not have great numbers. I
No.
remember Air's numbers.
Air did not have great
No.
numbers
Air,
here.
you both.
This was not Freya's problem alone, okay?
Air takes a breath and says, I want to acknowledge it wasn't the most effective execution. Checking out the community center was not a bad idea. We didn't do a great job. And trying to open the door was a really bad idea.
Hey,
It sounds like it recalls him. So
He definitely knows
Yeah.
something's up.
He does.
I can't say
and
for
Freya
sure
would
he
agree
knows
with
that
that.
we're here, but
Knows something's up.
we're in a very different position now than we were just a few hours ago.
the villagers are going to be punished. That's
Well,
what you're saying.
that's what I'm wondering. What's going to happen here, and
The
what's our
villagers
strategy?
getting punished is our best case scenario.
Yeah.
If
Because-
he believes it was one of the villagers messing with the door, at the very least he doesn't know we exist. But if we assume that this person is as smart or smarter than we are, which in my experience has been a wise assumption, at least in my career, that's how you stay alive, is assume the other guy's smarter than you.
Well-
Then we should.
I don't have a lot of experience with that.
Okay, but I do. And if we assume that, the best case scenario is that he thinks this was a villager, which means he thinks an animal was messing with his door.
Innocently?
Probably.
But if he was just a little smarter, he might assume that someone else is here that doesn't get transformed into an animal.
Did you say
during
there
the
was a
day.
rock slide?
Yeah, there was a rock slide.
Yeah,
And he stopped and looked.
Yeah. Then he kept walking.
Yeah. So again, if he's smart, he might put those 2 data points together, and like any of us might,
Try to suss it out.
try to think, well, there was a disturbance that I heard out loud in the village, and then someone touched my door. And he might put 2 and 2 together and think, maybe it wasn't Bambi. That's all I'm saying. So we might be in a very different situation now than we were just a short time ago.
Which is why, if he thinks someone's here already, then we just pretend like it's intentional.
Well, we could just go for it. I don't know if
What
that's
does that
very
mean, Potham?
I don't know if that's very smart, but I
Panda's
mean,
like, yes.
we could just prove his suspicion right. Just go and knock on the door.
Go and knock on my door.
I love that. So
I'm deeply uncomfortable with that. Says Air.
So am I.
I
don't like
I have a thought. So let's just see how this plays out with the villagers too. But maybe instead of staying out here, let's go in a little bit closer. Let's see if there's a hiding place that we can find that's in town.
Okay.
That we can get into, so we can observe a little closer if he decides to come out and do anything to the villagers. At this point, there are a couple of things that I'm thinking of, but I just think proximity would help us in this situation. Try to look for a hiding spot.
Can we talk about what we will do if he emerges? Like if he emerges and he plans to exact some kind of punishment on the villagers.
So, I have an idea. I have an idea for me, and I don't know how we can make this happen
Okay.
exactly, but I do have a spell that's Beast Sense. So if I'm able to touch one of the kids who is down in his lair, we would have a functional hour of me being able to observe everything through that animal's eyes and perception and everything like that. We would essentially be able to get down in there and have that. But there's a couple of things that go along with that. And the first one is that I have to be able to physically touch one of them. And the second one is that after I touch them, I cannot see or hear anything. I would need somebody to lead me away to a hiding spot.
They haven't been seen in a really long time, right?
No, they come out. He parades them out every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true, Air says.
Yeah.
But how are you, if he parades them out, how are you going to get close to them?
Yeah.
It's not like you can, you're a big silver
And then
dragon.
how are we supposed to lead you away?
I want Potter to be like, "Ugh!"
If I'm in a spot, no, that's all I'm saying.
I mean,
is
we're
that
not
that's
exactly
what
in a
about this.
situation where we can just blend into a crowd and you can run
Oh,
up and...
but I am in a situation, like I do have stealth in a crowd, number one, so that can help a little bit.
Of animals?
I want to be just sensitive to your idea here, Air says. And also remind you that this is a village full of werebeasts,
Yeah.
not dragonborn.
Truth?
You're a foot taller than the tallest person we've met here, and you're not half
So there's
animal.
that, but the other question is Air. Do you, or Bottom? Stop. Come on. Seriously, I'm just asking. All I can do is ask because I don't know how to play this game. So all I can do is ask stuff.
No,
you
you're
were
playing the
playing
game
it
great.
really well.
Yes. So all I can do is ask stuff. So here, Potham, do you have anything that could help me with concealment? Anything that could help with or Air? Do you have or Panda? Do you have anything that can help with me not being noticed? Or there's something in this
Yeah.
way. Like, is there any way that we can get if he parades out one of these children that we can get me
I mean,
Can somebody make me
I
look
could
like
cast-
something?
darkness, but that's going to get real suspicious real quick.
Yeah.
He would see right through that that's a spell.
No, yeah, I mean, he's going to immediately know that something happened, but it's the closest I've got.
But that
Like
only
you-
works in up to 10 feet, right? 20-foot cube?
It's a 15-foot sphere.
And I have a pass
Well,
without trace, but it's only self.
So here's the other question. If he pulls somebody up to parade him around, we got to look and see if he just leaves the door open or not, because there's other kids that are in there. You know, could we possibly have another kid? You know, like that's the
seems-
other thing to
This
kind
to
of
seems
me
like
feels
your
like
mission-
the best.
Yeah.
Like your mission told us that he doesn't leave the door open.
Okay. Yeah, for when he walks away. I think we always have to just be vigilant to see if in case he...
I can go invisible,
Truth.
and if I move fast enough, if we're literally waiting in the room when the
How long
door
does your
opens,
invisibility last?
an hour.
Hmm.
If we're literally waiting in the community center when he comes out, it's not like he opens and shuts the door instantly. If I could dash down in there, but there's a risk I could be trapped inside.
Yeah, if you couldn't get out from the inside. I wonder if you could... I don't know too
Invisibility-
much about these locks.
You
Can
can make
get
other
codes?
people invisible.
I could make other people invisible. It don't
Can
have
you
to be
make
me.
yourself and another person invisible at the same time?
Oh, don't we
Great
have the bag
question.
of holding?
I
We do have the bag of
I've
holding.
climbed in there before. For 10 minutes of air, right?
And you just keep it propped open.
can make two of us invisible.
Oh my god. So if we stay in the room,
We could
can we do like a...
conceive
I'm really not trying to be dumb about this, but I'm trying to be like creative to like how to get down there. So like...
There's no dumb here. This is a complex situation in a fantasy
This
world
is-
that you've
I mean,
never
I was just
encountered.
gonna literally pretend to be someone sent to
Freya
him.
is right.
Yes.
We do have the bag of holding, which can hold
Freya.
one of us.
And he can...
For a very short time.
10
Let me remind
minutes.
everyone.
But in air can also make two people invisible. That can allow
Three
three
of
people
us to get in
down,
there.
one person on the outside.
That
and
is-
the exocomp on the
That
outside.
is if his perception is low enough. That is that if if he doesn't perceive that we're there.
I mean, yeah.
I could- I
Invisibility's
mean-
not perfect.
Well, and I could also
And,
blow
But
up...
if he's
and it's
just-
also magic around a magic user. It's also magic around a magic user. That was me
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. We stumbled, right? And we're in a less desirable position than we were 6 hours ago. So our alternatives now are less attractive.
Sure.
So
There's a higher risk in whatever we do now.
I'm still willing to be someone's best friend. And knock.
well, so that makes me think that you should probably stay and protect the animals,
Okay.
the were people, whatever. What are we calling
Yeah.
them? The community.
Yeah.
Community.
While the three of us go below.
We can do that. Do we have time for a short rest? Short.
I mean, you took a long rest.
I would imagine while we're
Yeah.
sitting here talking that
just
this
so you
would
can
this
Just
would
so I can get
coincide.
two
Yeah.
wild shapes in my pocket.
Sure, yeah, you can rest. Yeah.
Because the other thing we could use, and if we don't need it, I'd rather not blow it, but we can use it, is I can wild shape into something, into an animal, that appears to just be an animal.
So, if the
Just
three
to not
of
have
us,
an elf
good call.
standing in there.
If the three of us are going down, I would propose that I go into the bag of holding, oddly, and he makes the two of you invisible. Because if I can come out of the bag of holding and terrorize some children there, but convince them that
Yeah.
they should touch me.
Out of an invisible bag of
Oh
holding.
my
If I
God.
can terrorize
But
some children
listen-
and convince
but
them
listen,
that
guys,
they
Pretty sure
should
that
touch
I touched your
me.
children
Touch me.
and that your
But
children
listen, guys, but
have
listen.
touched me.
Oh
Because
my
when
God.
I go to where I can't see or hear anything, they can throw me into the bag of holding and get
This
me
is
on.
Yeah.
why when I put these episodes on YouTube, I have to mark the
I'm
option that
explicit?
says this is not for children.
Yes, correct.
Because of you.
Correct.
It's because of you.
I mean, I think I talked about fairy smut today
Sorry.
too. So like,
I want your children to be able to listen to this, but I do.
this is an adult
It
D&D
was
game.
innocent.
Jump out of the bag and the children have to touch me.
I can terrorize them by having
Finish
them
it.
touch
Finish
me.
it up.
It's done.
Oh no, I
Oh,
did
it's-
finish.
oh,
I
just kidding.
did. I
That's right.
finished it.
Switching gears.
Mhm.
So
It's
so
juicy.
yeah, that's just what I'm saying. That actually that's a really good strategy because if I am able to make contact with one of them, you guys, that's how you guys can get me out of there, and you're invisible.
So this is where Air, I think, will chime in and say, I gotta be honest. At this point, don't you think we're a little past espionage and infiltration? If we can get in this laboratory, it's time to ambush this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time
I
to
do- I
take him
do.
out. Like, we're not going in there to make friends with children or
Let's keep our
terrorize
options
them or
open.
make them touch us. We're going in there. We're going in there to set up an opportunity. We're to take out his resources or kill him.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's keep
We
our
don't need
options
to. We don't
open.
need to deal with any of the children until we are done.
Yeah.
Of course, we want to keep them out of the fight as much as possible.
Yeah.
So if we can protect them, I mean, then we can fulfill.
You can put them in the bag of holding.
Even though I'm pretty sure I very much made myself clear that that was a secondary objective of mine, was the children. That I would try my best.
Yeah. The children are a low priority for you and a high priority for Freya. In an uncomfortable way. But
really uncomfortable way.
but-
But if you put them in the bag of
Only
holding,
because you guys made it uncomfortable, not from intention.
But my point is, if we have a way to get in,
Okay.
that's our biggest obstacle, right? This door is
Yes.
the problem.
Mm.
So either we need him to be outside the door, and then we just go full guns after him while he's out, which will probably put villagers in danger at this point because we missed our shot. Or we got to get inside.
we
and
get
once
inside,
we're
and
inside,
then we ambush him when he gets back.
these are as I see it, these are the options.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
in our
agree
back
with you.
pocket, if there is an opportunity for us to get away and I can be in B-Sense, then we should do it.
But
In a bag
Yeah.
of holding. But you are right.
we will use your cool trick if it comes
Come
to it.
I want to use my cool trick.
I mean, we will have
and
a
not
long.
in a pedophile
We
type
will.
of way.
Thank you. I'm glad we clarified that. we will have a long journey back to civilization after this, where there's beasts everywhere. You could meet some beasts. I bet Pando can introduce you some nice beasts.
I just thought, why
I'll
use
turn
it?
into a beast. You can
talk,
use
you
it
can
on me.
sense her.
I'm just saying, if it works out, it works out. I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Uh,
I'm going to the Philippines, not for that reason.
if I say it enough times, you'll believe me. All right.
Pando, I need some help. I'm not a pedophile.
Freya became Jared from
just-
Subway.
yeah,
Trying to save them.
I am not Jared from Subway, you freaks.
Oh my goodness!
All right. So, it's early afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Your party has had a spirited debate about the next step. Air, who is on autopilot, is not going to make a decision for you. I think I've contributed
Yes.
enough
Yes.
on behalf of
Thank
Air.
you. That was
What
kind of you.
is the party's next step?
Well, I
So-
guess you guys are gonna say no.
Well, last time when it was the middle of the day and we were checking everything out, the wizard didn't come out, right? Like when we were like
Okay,
making...
wait, sorry.
Hang on.
I have to pause. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt, but I have to pause. I'm going to pause our recording for a second.
Do we ambush him now before the villagers come back and are in true danger because of their proximity to everything? Or do you want us to wait and use a villager to ambush?
I think that we should go and set ourselves up.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think that we should get as close as possible.
Oh, I tried really hard.
But also, I mean, the whole thing of trying to sneak in there is that we get the drop on him.
Okay. Assuming he has no sense of this invisibility cloak thing
Well,
happening.
it's a chance.
Right.
The thing is that if it doesn't work, then I guess we are ambushing him now.
Yeah, I mean,
So I need to be close enough in case it doesn't work.
I would imagine that you would be in the area.
Okay.
I mean, if we mess up, we're fighting this guy.
Right.
And if we
Sooner
don't
than
mess
we
up,
want.
we're gonna fight this guy.
With advantage,
Right.
sort of. Yeah.
All right, so Air says the plan is we're headed back to the village.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the community center to wait until he comes out, because he's gonna come out.
But
And then we're gonna sneak in. And,
Okay.
and we can imagine that he's going to come out just after they change.
All right, so we're banking on the idea that he is going to come out ready to punish.
Yep.
If he knows what to punch at.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready to dip my chip? Thank you.
I mean, there
So-
was the idea of trying to warn the villagers beforehand, but I don't think that there's time. I just don't think there's going to be time.
How much longer do we have till they change back?
At this point, it's mid-afternoon.
Okay.
So you have a few hours?
4 hours.
Knowing that you know the villagers retain their memory from the day, if you could flag down an animal or something and explain stuff,
It'd be handy if we saw Samuel around.
you
Right.
might be able to give a warning. Let me make a roll on that. Think about the probability here that Samuel would come back to his little roost. You don't see Samuel before sunset.
He's doing whatever toucans do.
Let's go position ourselves at the community center.
Okay.
Okay. As a group, how are you approaching the community center? Are you sneaking up?
I mean,
Or are
last
you just
time.
strolling up?
We're sneaking up, but we're not
Sneaking up.
invisible yet because we only got an hour of invisibility.
All right. Then we're going to make a group stealth check
Okay.
this time.
That's
Everybody roll stealth.
Phew, 17.
11.
Natural 20, making it 21. Panda frolics, but she does it quietly.
Air with a solid 9.
Yeah, Air, you just talk crap about
Well, the
what
good
I do.
news is, so Air in her new suit of half plate armor
Yeah.
is kind of clinky clanky, not as sneaky as she once was. But the good news is, Pando has seemed to fall into a groove here, and
I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
I'm a snake. She's
I'm a
always
snake.
she's always a snake now. But there are a number of times where, as you're making your way up through the woods and up towards the village, where Air or somebody else is about to stumble or is close to stepping on a stick or stepping into an obvious visible area, where Pando sort of just anticipates and grabs an elbow here and pulls someone back, or nudges someone past an area where they might slip and fall.
Air's like, don't touch me.
And it is actually really handy because Freya's mostly taking care of herself for once.
And in the end, You all make your way up to the community center, feeling pretty confident that you have been slick about it. At the very least, you didn't see anybody noticing you. The door of the community center is closed, as it was before, and you are concealed in the shadows across the street, looking at the door of the community center. So what's up?
Is that where we keep?
Once we're inside, we should be able to hear him come out. So I think if we conceal ourselves and making ourselves ready to be invisible, Freya, you're mostly in the bag.
But I'm still breathing outside.
Speaking of the bag, I should probably.
It's mostly in the bag. But I haven't tied
Freya's
one
half in the
on
bag
yet.
most of the time.
Most of the time.
Oh, we have sending stones right now. Okay, so both of those. Cool.
All right, so breathing creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures in the bag. So one creature in the bag can survive 10 minutes.
I'm poised to jump in the bag, but I'm not in the bag yet.
I imagine that she's got the bag mostly like a blanket around her shoulders so that
I'm starting to
she
climb
can speak
in
Minotaur at us.
Yeah.
and demand to go first.
All right. I'm gonna allow you to be
Partially in the bag.
partially in the bag.
Thank you.
You're half in the bag. So you're entering the community center.
Mm-hmm. But we gotta like hide behind a bench or we gotta find a hiding spot in the community center. We just crossed a proximity. We didn't check for traps.
That was the best,
it.
the best dice roll
Damn it!
ever.
I'm changing.
And I want to be very clear. That was the dice. That wasn't me. I set such a high bar. But I rolled it, and it was a 1.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah. Be honest with me. Who opens the door to the community center?
It's a
Air.
good question.
Air.
That's great.
I think Bottom opens the door to the community center.
Would it be
I'm
Pando
I'm
on
not
her
here.
like arrogant little like, oh look out, ooh look out there, bink, or no?
I think it's air.
Let's talk about it for a second. So,
Yeah.
you're all outside.
Yep.
You're concealed. You're looking at the doors. You're like, all right, it's time to go in. We got to find our positions, get invisible, blah, blah, blah. Who's the person that goes up first and pulls open the doors to the community center?
Air.
All right. It's there.
I really think it's Bottom.
Okay. All right, fine. It's bottom.
I think it's Bottom. I think that Bottom just got too ahead of himself and too ahead of the plan of needing to go and hide. Not logically thinking through. The door is the protected thing, so clearly not the community center. It's Bottom.
Okay.
Plus, Air's not here, and that's not fair. I would be mad if you were all like, no,
Bottom dies.
Bottom did that. when I wouldn't be here. That's why I'm always here. That's why you're always going to hear me on this podcast.
That's right, because they'll all betray you the moment you're gone. All right, well, here's what happens.
I'm so scared.
Potom, you rush forward. Air and Freya, who are meant to be part of the invisible / bag concealed entry team, are close to you. Pando is hanging back just a little bit,
Okay.
ready to provide support. You grab one of the handles of the doors, pull it open, and as your eyes adjust to the relative darkness of the inside of this community center, you see down center stage, as it were, that the door stands wide open. The trap door is sitting open. And standing behind that trap door is a hooded figure in a dark green robe who is waiting patiently, his hand extended, pointing at the door. And he tilts his head slightly to the side and says, "Ah, interesting. Let it begin." And a glowing red bead of energy floats from his fingertip in your direction and rapidly picks up speed.
Dodge.
And
Dodge.
Nope. I mean, you'll try. You will try. You will try to dodge as the fireball detonates above your head. You, Air, and Freya, I need you all to make a dexterity saving throw. As we...
Okay, because so mine does say that I do have advantage on dex against effects you can see while not blinded, deafened, or
yeah,
incapacitated.
absolutely. At advantage.
So at least, come on, 15.
15. Air got a 16.
Pound got a 6.
6. 6 is not good. What's his DC? So both Air and Freya save. Potom does not. Let's roll for some damage. 8d6.
Oof.
Is that gonna be good?
Don't worry, I have a potion.
Potom, take 23 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
Freya, take
Half that.
11 points of fire damage, and Air will take 11 points of fire damage as you attempt to leap out of the way as the fireball crashes into you.
Jesus.
And now I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Let's hope he doesn't have too many of those left.
He's got a couple.
Initiative is just a d20, right?
Yeah.
You've got an initiative
Button.
button
Next to your
on
armor
your...
class.
I?
Yeah.
I forget that. I'm sorry. Doink. 19.
19. Let's see. Air 14. Potom
7.
7. Freya
11.
11. And for our baddies, we'll roll here. Okay. Let's start this encounter. Hey, we're fighting, everybody!
Like, hey,
It's been a
everybody,
minute.
let's get the fighting on.
It's been a minute. Pando, you are actually up first. So, not engulfed by a raging sphere of unholy fire, you see this from not quite across the street, but from a short distance away, and react. What do you do?
Might need to refill there. Just on the other side. There you go.
I think Pando instinctually will turn into a bear.
Okay.
Is that my only action?
I think so. Is wild shape an action for you still? I know, but at some point it
Yes.
becomes a bonus
As a
action.
bonus action earlier. Sorry. As an action, I can magically assume the shape. As a bonus action earlier, if I fall unconscious, I can turn back.
Where are we?
So right
and
now,
where's he? We have a.
so I don't have a battle map for the community center because,
But we're in very close
to
proximity.
be honest, I didn't think you were going to fight in there.
we
but-
keep you on your toes.
You do. Keep it festive.
It needed a remodel anyway. Very dated in here. Now that I understand the community, my skin hurts because it's burning. But now that I understand the community, I believe that there could be a much better use of the. Never mind. We'll get back to this.
Oh, are those empty?
No, these are empty. Get in there.
They felt empty.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, here, let's. I've got an image of a battle map somewhere here. It's just a regular battle map. Can you please just open this image file? There we go. Q. Do that, and maybe there's a way to expand this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so throw your dude on there wherever.
Where is the dude? Because I want to know where we're at.
Yeah, hang on. I need a person.
Oh, there's an error.
Oh yeah, there's an error.
Oh, yeah. Let me get air.
I don't have a great wizard mini, unfortunately. At least not an evil.
But you got some like archways to make a door, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna boink. Steal that for a sec.
Oh, that's my big creatures.
I like those archways.
My little creatures box. I like that I have more than one box of minis. Soon I'll need another.
Oh wait,
pretty
this
exciting.
is a stairway, but whatever. We'll make it the
Oh,
other side of the door.
that's-
It's arch looking.
Like that?
Wait, what?
Okay, this guy is a mind flayer, and you're not fighting a mind flayer, but he's as close to an evil wizard as I've got right now. So we're gonna put him right there, dead center of the community center, having just launched a fireball.
So dead center, but so where's the opening? to
That's the door where
where we are.
Alex
Okay.
just set it up.
So we are in the community center, right?
No,
And that was by.
Oh,
So-
that's a doorway. Where's the doorway downstairs?
he's standing essentially
On
right on it.
Can
or
I
right
use that for the
behind it.
door? Just to.
Remind us where it is.
Here.
Yeah, so he's basically standing by the open door
Okay.
and lobbed a fireball at you.
What a
So-
dick.
Pando,
Yep.
you were far enough back from the door.
Will
that
you
you were
put
out
me a
of
little
range.
bit behind you? Thank you.
Yeah. And in fact, it's just there. That's a little,
Okay.
probably a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want Pando to be farther back.
Sure.
Like you all were clustered around the door, and she was. It's probably more like this. So it's the doors are big. Potom was right there to open the door, and Pando's like back here.
Okay.
All right, Pando, you
I wild shaped.
become a bear.
I think that's my action.
Where's all your critters? Did you take them home or did you leave them here?
I took him home because I'm building my own empire now of things. And I ordered another 3D
Nice.
elf.
Nice.
But I forgot them all and I apologize.
That's all right. Okay, so you become a bear, and
So mad.
I'm Panther Pando now.
you become a bear, and what happens next?
That's my action, right?
Yep, but you have movement and a bonus action.
Oh my
Come up closer
gosh.
For sure.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I really thought that took up my
Do you
whole...
have any potions of healing by chance?
Can't use them when I'm in bear form.
Oh, right.
Can't use anything when I'm in bear form. But if I don't stay in bear form, I literally die with like one shot.
Right.
So I'm gonna just charge forward to be closer. I can only do
Section?
40.
40's 8 squares. So you moved
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Remember, you can move diagonally. That's just one square.
So,
Diagonal is one square.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh my gosh, I can go right to him.
Yeah, bears are fast, bro.
Yeah,
Bears run fast.
I'm gonna fucking multi-attack him.
Yeah, you can't. Because you used your action to
But
turn into a bear.
next time,
Next time, you're definitely going to multi-attack. But you're getting it all up in his grill.
all up in his grill. He's like,
Yeah.
"Why is this bear coming
He's
at
like,
me?"
whoa, a bear?
Uh huh.
I've seen these before.
Yeah.
All right, Pando, good turn. Air's turn. Air's displeased to have been burnt. Yeah, burnt. Air is. Let me think about what Air would do.
That first you burnt was really fun.
It was excellent. Yeah, I watched it today. The first thing that Air would do is cast Hex on this dude. So she's gonna curse him with a Hex. I don't really have cool like rings and stuff, so let's call that a Hex. If you just said that next to the evil wizard. You hexed. That's a bonus action. And then, so the hex lets her deal extra necrotic damage whenever she hits the target. And then she would move her full movement, which is 6 squares. Can she get 2 melee?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
6.
6.
Yep. Great. And then she would pull out her tarnished longsword and make 2 attacks.
Attack at advantage.
So the I will not be at advantage.
Oh, I thought because it
There's
technically flanked.
the way I use flanking rules is you have to be on opposing sides.
So what if Air was here? Is that opposing sides then?
Yeah, because that's not really a pillar.
Yeah, it's not really a pillar.
Yeah.
So that's fine. If you want to... Yeah. All right, that's good. So at advantage. So first attack with the longsword. Natural 1. Good thing it's at advantage. At 24 to hit. So that will
Sweet.
hit. Second attack is a
26.
26 to hit. Hang on. Let's look at this.
I feel like you hit it hard.
Yeah, those are both gonna hit. So Air will do with the first attack 7 plus 6 is 13 plus another d6 with the curse. Whoa, a 6. That's 19
Yes.
points of damage.
All right, Air.
Holy cow. That's and that's just the first. With the second attack, Air will do 7. Let me check the hex. Is that just on the first attack? Whenever you hit it with an attack. Oh, 7 plus 3 is 10 points of damage. So Air strolls up and deals massive damage to this dude with 2 mighty slashes of her tarnished longsword. Freya, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna rage. Is my bonus action. Do I have to do my regular action before my bonus action?
Nope. No, you can do
I
it in
didn't
any
think
order.
so. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side, and I'm gonna
Yeah, girl.
attack 2 times, right?
Yeah.
With I'm gonna sling my
At advantage.
my what do you call it? My sword around my back, and I'm going to attack with my great sword.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Oops. Oh, I did the wrong. I hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong one. That was. Sorry. Let me just hit the right one. There we go. Oh, really? And 16. 10 and 16.
Okay. The mage is going to raise his hand in response to your attack and call out a phrase that you don't understand. And a shimmering field of energy is going to appear in front of his body, and your attack bounces off of this shield that he's created in front of him. He's going to cast the shield spell, and you miss.
Both times?
16 was your highest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
Okay. Potom, you're up. Scorched and blistered, you stand in the doorway of this community center watching your friends attack this mage.
So, technical question. My, it doesn't say on the exocomp that he can't wield a weapon. It does say that there's, let's see here. I do have him. Steel Defender.
I've been wondering about that steel, the exocomp.
I think I'm gonna rule that the Steel Defender can use things, but they do not have proficiency in any of the things.
So it wouldn't add my proficiency bonus.
Correct.
Okay.
So they would add whatever the ability bonus is for that's appropriate to that weapon. So if you were swinging a warhammer, you would add the strength bonus of the Steel Defender.
But you could like walk in and drop a bomb and turn around and walk away.
I mean, certainly you
that.
could do that.
Right. If
But we're all
we knew
standing
what a
there.
bomb was.
Well, yeah, you know.
If
but
we had a
whatever.
bomb,
Right.
that
Not necessarily a bomb, but something like that, I'm sure.
All right. Well, let's send the Steel Defender forward. He gets 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is good enough. We're going to put him here. And we will cast... let's cast Heroism on
the mage.
Freya.
Ooh, what's heroism?
Heroism. A willing creature you touch is imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune from being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of its turns.
Just have to learn to roll
Nice.
better.
When the spell ends, the target loses any remaining temporary hit points from this spell.
All right.
How many extra hit points is
You
that?
get 5 temporary hit points.
Wait.
And
That's a
remember,
lovely
you get that at the start of every round. So you can add
So you can
temporary
even
hit
put
points now.
I can add
temporary
them
hit
now.
points there,
Wow.
and the temporary hit points get taken off
keep-
before your actual
They
hit
don't
points.
stack.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
to
where I
be,
was like, well.
so to be clear, they don't stack. But the great thing about this spell is they come back every round. So it's almost
That's
like
a great one.
it's
a
almost
great
like you get healed
Yeah.
for 5 every turn. Mm-hmm. It's a little different, but that's a cool spell.
For my turn, I'm going to drink this potion of healing that I have.
Smart.
Probably a good
You
idea.
got you burnt. You're very burnt.
I'm burnt.
I'm very badly burned.
But none of you can tell because I still just look like a rock.
Right.
It's just a little bit more red.
Yeah.
It's glowing.
Maybe
She look a little-
blackish.
Like a coal. Like
Is
put
it a
into
little
the...
crusty to you? I mean, not any more than normal.
Do you think Bottom's okay?
He's smoking, is that? Did he smoke before?
He's a rock. It's fine.
All right. And I believe, we'll just move. Tuck ourselves back just a moment.
Good.
Observe.
Right.
Now is it the bad
I
guy's
believe
turn?
that is. Yes, but I get.
Okay. It
Oh.
is.
Sorry to retcon that just a second. The Exocomp went forward with a Warhammer.
Ooh.
Looks kind of like a special Warhammer.
Ooh.
Maybe a little bit magical?
Oh, who's to say?
Who's
Who
to
is
say?
to say?
It's hard to know. All right. It is now Estrath Tentathian's turn. He looks around at all of you. And you don't need an insight check to know he looks surprised, maybe even a little concerned. But what he looks like more than anything is disdainful and disgusted to be surrounded by the people that he's surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at all of you and says, "Ugh, I think not."
I love when you voice the stateful characters.
And he disappears in a puff of mist as he misty steps away.
Is the door still open?
Yeah.
Oh, heck
Cool.
Ooh,
yeah. Oof.
it's totally not my turn.
Pando,
Panda's turn.
your target has disappeared. The open trap door reveals a broad set of stone stairs that lead down into the darkness.
Yeah, we actually should have gone like this.
As a bear, she checks for traps.
Say more about that.
I mean, she saw from behind what happened to...
Well, they didn't experience a trap. They opened the door while he was standing there and he
I'm
threw a
just
fireball
saying,
at their
she's
face.
being careful. So she's not just gonna bound. By the way,
Okay, well, there's a big difference between checking for traps and being careful.
wait,
Whatever-
can she check for traps in bear form? I actually don't know if she
I
can.
mean, you can, yeah, you can.
Then she very
In
much
bear
is.
form, you have the intellect of your
Okay.
elven form.
Okay.
Now, a couple fun facts.
Mhm.
One, you're not good at checking traps in the first place.
Yeah.
Two, you're a bear, so that's going to be more difficult.
Oh,
Oh, is this a trap?
and
Is
she's
this a trap?
large.
I'm
Now
gonna
that
just-
you've like enlightened me to like these beast sizes, like I thought. I mean, a bear is big. I'm picturing
Bears are-
like Milwaukee Zoo. She's a large.
Bears are big. Bears are big.
Oh,
Yeah, you're the size of this table.
Yes, and
Yeah,
she's
you're big.
checking for traps.
Okay. Sweet. Roll an investigation check with the bear's... No, not with the bear's intelligence. Just roll an investigation check.
I think it's the same as Pando's actually.
Yeah, no, either way,
10.
10. Seems fine.
Looks good.
You slap your bear paws all over
Every time we check for traps, it's a time.
You slap your bear paws all over
Yeah.
the trap door and the stairs, and you look back at your friends and you go, and you give them a good, confident bear nod.
Yep.
Everything seems fine here, according to Pando the bear.
I imagine that's very much like when you talk to your cats. You just kind of know what
Right.
they're like. You're like,
Yeah.
no, you can't go outside right now.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's a lot like
Clark's
that.
like, I can never go to Christine's.
Just want to go to the neighbors.
That's not my action though, right?
It is actually
It
your
is.
action. Yeah, you used your action to bear for traps. to bear down on the trap
The
hunt.
crazy thing is, a 10 is like almost more dangerous. You know, it's more dangerous than a 4.
No,
like
yeah.
there's like a little confidence
Uh-huh.
that
Oh,
goes
yeah.
along with
Searching
it.
for traps is really fun. And one of the most fun things. Now this is out of character for a second, but one of the most fun things about playing D&D as you're learning to play D&D is realizing that choosing to do things while you're playing D&D that your character is not good at
Yeah.
is more dangerous than choosing not to do things.
Right.
So like there are people on your team who are good at looking for traps. And those people should do that. There are other people on your team that are good at hitting things with big heavy objects.
Yes.
And those people should do that.
Yeah.
There are people that shouldn't run in the middle of battles where
Shouldn't
all the
open the
melee
door.
happens. And they should stay out of it, right? Like everybody's got their specialty.
But isn't
D&D
it
is a game of balance and specialties.
It's on brand for the characters.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Panda
It's-
would totally be like, I'm becoming really good at this
I'm an
stuff
adventurer.
now.
No,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Come on, sit here.
I don't ever want you to hold back from doing what's fun or
Mm-hmm.
feels appropriate to the story or what you think your character would be into, because it's like good tactics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a terrible idea for Pando, who's never even seen a trap, to be like,
They're probably
I
at
got
like
this,
5,
you
and I'm
guys."
like, we're good.
Yeah. I'm in the form of a bear, and this is the time
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when I should try looking for traps.
Because I've seen them do it.
Yeah, I've
so
seen
I'm
these
like,
guys look for
I
traps all
should
day.
check
Oh,
for
trap.
traps.
At
Mirror-
least I was like, can air check for traps.
Mirroring behavior.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's really good. All right, so yeah, everything seems fine.
Totally.
You want to use your movement?
Yeah, I want to use my movement. Let's go down the stairs.
All right, you barrel down the stairs.
I bear.
You do bear roll down the stairs. You lumber down the stairs. We'll talk about what you see in just a moment, because you reach the bottom of the stairs and you
Awesome.
you see things.
Yeah.
But your turn's also over. Air. Air.
I also don't want to be that guy, but you said 8:30. What's your
8:45.
Okay.
But honestly, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Yeah,
no,
no,
thank
no,
you. It actually, it's just turn my phone over. Then it doesn't matter.
If you don't see it, then it
I
doesn't.
didn't even know what time it was.
if you don't
I know.
See it, then it
No,
doesn't
this
count.
is too good. I will ask forgiveness instead of permission.
I like it. That's
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
used to when I was in high school.
Thank you, though, for time checking, because, yeah, I lose track.
One of the things that reasons that I accepted my job that I just accepted is that when I interviewed and I said to my boss's boss, I'm more of an ask for forgiveness than permission person. And
Yeah.
she said those are the kind of people we're looking for.
Good.
Now, whether that was actually played out is true or not, but,
Yeah.
but,
But it was
Said
said
it.
aloud.
Yeah.
it was said aloud and I accepted my job because
When I,
Yeah.
when I was in high school, my mentor and marketing teacher, Dave Engstrom, made us read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and we all drank the Kool-Aid, and we were really into it. And about a year later, we, in a very small circle, which included my mentor and marketing teacher Dave Engstrom, coined the 8th habit of highly effective people, which was ask for forgiveness, not
Yeah.
permission. And I practice that regularly.
I
And
have done that like
threw it in
6
his
times
face.
today. Yeah.
I actually used that even this last week. I said,
Yeah.
oh, could I talk to you? Do you have a minute between meetings? I teased. And she said, yes, I should have a minute around 12:15 or so. And I said, yes, please call me. And then she said at 12:15, I'm really sorry, I don't have a minute. And I said, that's okay. So around 2 o'clock, she said, I should have a little time in about a half an hour. And I'm like, it has reached I have done what I've done,
Yeah.
and I just need
Yeah.
to tell you about it. So if you need to wait till the end of the day, that's
It's
cool.
no longer urgent because I did the thing.
No longer urgent, but remember when I interviewed?
No.
Anyway. anyway.
So, Air, seeing that the bear in front of her has slapped the stairs with their paws and then trundled down
Check for traps.
trundled down the stairs without incident, Air will dart down the stairs with her sword at the ready, And I think it's about that time that this is revealed
Yay!
unto the group. Those are
I think we're coming down.
small. Yeah.
There.
Yeah. So this is gonna be your
Where are we
entryway
running
here.
This is
So the
person.
bear is
What?
here.
No, that's the hex that's on dude.
Yeah, dude's hexed. So I'll hang on to that for now. Oh look, he fits right in it. That's great.
Oh,
He's in a little pocket of hex. That's actually visually appealing. I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like there's dark magic
yeah. No,
coming
that's
up around
great.
his tootsies. If you could move air right behind the bear, or the wildebeest.
Yeah.
Awesome. So air darts down the stairs, and at the bottom of the stairs has a view of this laboratory. And as you can see, the laboratory is
Have you used this map before?
no, it's a
No.
new one.
It kind of looks like when we were in the Underdark.
Yeah, it does a little bit in the Dwarven Kingdom?
No.
Oh
the-
no! In the one
Yeah.
the one shot that turned into a 3-shot.
Right.
Yeah. No, I have not used this one, but it does have a similar vibe for sure. So what you see here in this really honestly well constructed underground area, immediately in front of Air and Pando, is largely storage and an area that appears to be, you can't see it clearly on here, but appears to be sort of a living area. So there's a fairly luxurious 4-post bed. There's some side tables. There's an area with storage for food, a small sort of kitchen. Yeah, there you go. This is the luxury 4-poster bed right over here in the corner. And then a fair amount of storage, racks and racks of small crates, vials, things like that. But the majority of this space is taken up by the laboratory. And what you see before you are a few things. Lining the sides of the room are these tall cylinders made of glass and metal with tubes and what look like cables running in and out of them that are full of a bubbling purple liquid. I know it looks green on this map, but it's obviously not. That's your eyes playing tricks on you. It's purple.
It's glowy purple.
It's glowing purple. And there are dark shapes floating inside all of those tubes.
Shapes.
We'll get to that. Up at the head of the room, you see a very large tank, not a tube, but a big tank that is full of this liquid. And inside, you don't see dark shapes, like there's stuff in there, but you see a steady, regular pulse of red light coming from the center of this liquid. About every, almost like a heartbeat. It's not quite as steady. It's not that exact same as a heartbeat, but there's a steady boom, boom, boom. And you not only feel it like bass hitting your chest at a concert, but you see a pulse of reddish light deep inside the purple liquid that's floating there. The other thing you see is in the center of the room in front of the tank. So what you can see that looks kind of like a rectangle on the ground there.
Oh,
Yeah, that is actually, it's much more horrific than you see on this visual. It's an elevated surgery table that is probably, it's about 4x8. It has straps or armbands and leg bands that look like they're in place to secure a humanoid to the table. There are channels for runoff, and the table is speckled with and coated with fluids, including obviously blood. It looks like some pretty disturbing things have happened on that table and has not been cleaned. The robed figure stands just to the side of the large tank, glowing with energy. Air comes around the corner, and as she does so, she is going to fire off she's going to fire off. Did you do 2 Eldritch Blasts? No, only 1 Eldritch Blast. She's going to fire off an Eldritch Blast. A 25 to hit. Dang, air.
Thank you, air.
On fire.
Because we have to have a 17
That's
nearby.
8 plus, once again, the Hex. Turns out I play air real good.
Yeah.
Hits with any attack, yep. So 8 plus another 5, so 13 points of damage
Sweet.
with
Good job.
that Eldritch Blast. Okay. Yeah, so the Eldritch Blast slams into the mage, who cries out in surprise and pain. Not happy about this situation. But that is the end of Air's turn. Freya.
Freya, we're just so kind of far away here. Let's, I'm going to, Freya's dashing.
Okay. So your normal movement will get you down to the base of the stairwell and enter this map. So if you're going to
Which
dash,
is,
that
like,
means you've
right
got
here.
your full movement again from that first square.
Okay. Like right from here?
Yep.
Okay.
But you have to come down this ramp
Oh,
to
this
enter
ramp.
the room.
Oh, coming down this.
Nope. So
where-
you enter.
Unless
You
well,
enter
unless
here, but
I
you
mean,
have
really-
to come down here. You could leap down if you want.
Oh, could.
It's 10 feet, so there's maybe some small damage or an acrobatics check.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, no. I'm going to do that.
Try to fly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Whee! 5,
Okay.
6.
Yep, that's good. Make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics.
Dang it.
You're trying to land in a way that doesn't break your ankle.
Brett Favre.
Yeah. All right. It's not
12
too.
would be more
It's not too
appropriate.
bad. I'm not going to reduce it. You only take 1 point of bludgeoning
Okay,
damage.
that's fine. Okay,
Yeah, usually those don't.
that's fine.
It's not
I
a long
acquired
fall.
1. Okay, well, I also have temporary points here. Okay.
That's your turn.
Well, no, because I dashed.
Yep.
So I have a bonus action with charge. Because I have the charge action.
Yep, but you're not in range to do an attack.
Yeah, but I can do a melee weapon attack, and I can.
Melee means it's not ranged.
But I thought a javelin was a melee.
Not if you throw it.
Oh.
If
You'd
you
have to
stab with
stabby,
it,
Stab
it can
with
be.
it.
A javelin can be used either way.
Oh, it
But if
just
you
says
throw it,
melee.
it's a ranged attack.
It just says melee weapon on there. so-
Melee means you're within
Fine.
5 feet.
Okay, I'm here.
All right.
It's cool.
Pot him.
Okay. Well, so Exocomp was right next to Freya, so movement gets him inside the room.
Yep.
And I
Well,
think
here's
it's 40
the
feet.
problem too, that I lost my
It is.
rage
It's 8.
because I didn't make an attack.
But you did take damage
Oh, okay.
because of the fall.
Perfect. That worked out well.
Your rage is preserved if you take damage or do an attack. So good strategy, throwing yourself off the ramp. Must stub toe. Maintain rage.
Maintain rage.
My ankle hurts. I'm so mad about it.
Pissed about it.
Kill you.
The
That just didn't sound very ragey. I'll kill you.
Why I
it
don't
was the
ever,
last thing I do.
this is why I don't ever play a barbarian. No one buys it.
Let alone a princess barbarian.
The Exocomps reveals that he also has a phaser. Oh wait, you know what? Crap. He's too far away.
He's
for
pretty
that.
far away. This is a big room.
Okay, hang on.
There's a big
Can
space.
still walk.
Let's go.
Make the noise.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8.
Make an acrobatics check for your exocom.
Sure. Let's find out what. Let's find out if you got a bonus on that, huh? You said acrobatics.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gets an athletics check. So it's just a d20. Doop. Would I add my proficiency bonus?
You would not.
Okay, 13.
Okay. You're going to take... 13's enough. It's not a long drop. You're going to prevent half the damage. So you'll take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. There is a spot for him on here. All right, 2 points. And I still don't think that 60 is far enough.
60.
60 feet?
He has 60 feet of movement?
No, 60 feet
A
of
phaser.
Oh,
spell
the
attack.
range. Got
Yeah.
it, got it, got it.
So,
Yeah.
no, he's just gonna have to be
He's
there.
so- how's he so far away?
Well, he misty stepped. You all are walking.
I know.
Even though Misty Step's supposed to be 15
Yeah, I
feet,
can only get to like right here.
isn't it?
No,
Or
that's
60?
different for
Oh,
it's different for everybody.
I gotcha.
Sometimes it's an ability, sometimes it's a spell.
Potom is going to wedge the door open.
Okay.
He's going to just, simple crowbar, preventing this door from slamming shut.
Sure.
God, Potom.
I won't. You don't even need to make a check for this. Like that's a very simple thing.
Cool. And then he'll...
This is not a complicated door. It was the arcane lock that was the protection.
Sure. But we just don't want the door to slam shut and lock us all in here. And Potom produces himself in the doorway.
Okay. Right. Now it is Esterath Tantathian's turn.
Come closer, my pretty.
Esterath is going to look at all of you and say, did you really think that I was not aware of your presence? What a ridiculous assumption.
Oh, so ridiculous.
How foolish of you to stumble your way here into my haven, my inner sanctum. I have been preparing for a full day to welcome you, and now I shall. This inconsequential attempt at surprise will not slow the essential work that we do. Observe the power of this fully operational machine.
Bring it, E.T.
And at this point, he reaches his arm into a. There's a circular opening in the side of this tank, which he grabs a little handle on and twists, and it sort of rosettes open, and he shoves his arm inside of it. Now, at this point, this guy is bloody, bruised, pretty severely damaged. He looks a little shaky. But as he jams his arm inside, that metal rosette that opened slams back down around his arm, actually drawing blood as it closes down around his arm. And you see around the edges of his arm just a gentle purple glow as the liquid from this tank flows over his arm. And he cries out in, you're not sure if it's pain or ecstasy, but he yells aloud. And you see sort of a a soft purple glow of energy suffuse over his entire body. And you see the injuries that he has sustained knit closed, the blood evaporate from the surface of his skin, the bruises vanish, and you see his body just swell slightly. He almost seems to grow 2 inches in height, and to get a little more robust, his head held higher, until the rosette opens up again and a little bit of that purple goo just sort of floods to the ground. And he turns back to all of you and he says, "Now, let's play." And then he slaps a button on the machine next to him, and huge bubbles start to burst up from inside the central tank as you see the goo level in that central tank start to lower. It's being channeled somewhere and used. And the 2 coils on either side of the tank start to hum and glow with a vibrant purple energy. And the 2 tanks that are nearest to you, on the left and right, a moment or so, it happens very quickly, they start to glow very brightly, almost like lightning is flashing inside these tanks. And suddenly they shatter, and bursting forth from inside each of them is a creature that looks to be almost an animated shrub, like a collection of twigs and vines, pine cones, and different bits of detritus from the woods that have come to life and taken the shape of almost demonic creatures with jagged, sharp mouths and thorny protrusions coming off all sides of their body. They leap out of the now shattered tanks and look around hungrily, hissing and growling as purple goo floods off their bodies. And Tentathion calls out to them, "Kill my children! Destroy and rend for your master!" And they turn and look at you.
And Pando's turn.
The machine continues to pulse. And it's not quite Pando's turn, because one of these one of these forest blights is going to act
Gonna
first.
come towards Freya.
I think his action was bursting out of the tank.
Nope, that's his
If you
welcome
ask
to the
me.
battle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is going to attack the nearest creature, which is the Exocomp. And it is going to make a claw attack.
Oh my gosh.
So
Fingers
natty
Exo.
1, so that's a 4 to hit,
Perfect.
and it misses. It's going to make a second attack. Has a 19, which I think probably hits.
Armor class. Is 15, so yeah, 19 hits.
So the your steel defender takes 5 points of slashing damage. Sorry, piercing damage. As the claws blast into it. Pando,
Yep.
it's your turn.
So I can climb 30 feet as a bear.
Mhm.
So I don't think that would result in any kind of damage, right?
No,
With
you're
me
good.
climbing down.
You can climb down.
I'm sorry, you said how much
5.
damage? 5.
And did you say that's 10 feet?
Yep.
So can I climb down for the 10 and then...
And then move 20.
Okay, perfect. So she has a 40 feet speed.
Okay, so then you have 30 left.
Okay.
So let's say from here
Mhm.
you have, I'll say from here you have 5 squares.
Okay. 1, 2, 3,
Any bonus action?
Okay.
You haven't used your action, so you could use your action to dash if you want, which would give you another full movement.
I didn't know I had dash as a bear.
Any creature can take dash as an action,
Oh,
which means you get to use your action to make your full movement again.
Do you have a spell bonus action or something that you can?
Not a.
Oh,
she
no,
I
As a
can't do
bear.
anything
can't
as a
do
bear.
spells as
No.
Not as a bear.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, later when she's higher level, she can do that. But the bear can dash
Yeah.
as an action, so you could take your full. You could move 8 more squares if you'd like.
You should go toward the other one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, excellent.
No bonus actions. Oh, I guess.
I don't think
dash
bears
is-
have
Mm-mm.
bears don't have any bonus actions
Dang it.
that I'm aware of. All right, next up is air.
Air.
Air is going to. Does air have Misty Step? I thought air did, but
That'd be cool.
no. Oh yeah, air totally
Has Misty stuff.
has Misty Step. Why does air have Misty Step, and where did that come from? Oh, it's
She's
a,
probably a
'cause-
drow elf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does use a second level spell.
Oh, it does.
We are pretty far
She doesn't
back.
do that
we need
naturally?
To, we need to
Mm-mm.
be the worst for air to.
No, it is a spell. But this is kind of air's thing. Like this is what air does. I think that's
Air can also fly, right? Turn into a fly thing.
yeah. Yeah. But also,
Can air fly and cast a spell from the air?
sorry, I'm not used to running air, but I'm gonna try to catch up here. Why would that use a third level spell? I'm very confused about how air's spells work. Air has very limited spells, that's the challenge. Air's not going to use Misty Step because she only has 2 spell slots.
Oh.
As far as I can tell. So she instead is going to, like you all have done, she's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Actually, no, she's going to do that out to here instead. Make an acrobatics check as she leaps down.
It looks like she only has 2 spells at 3rd level.
Yeah, it's a very confusing.
But I wonder if she can use her fairy fire and her darkness at will.
I need to understand.
It doesn't say
I
at
need to
will.
understand how she set this up. Let's see. Manage spells. Known spells 9. Pact magic. The pact magic says she says 2 third level spells, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
There's a bunch of nerds listening at home. who
Yeah,
are like,
there's who
this is how it works.
They're so angry.
There's so many
They're
fans.
so angry right now.
This guy needs more editing.
A 5th level warlock
Tell that
knows
back in
3
English.
cantrips, 6 spells, and only has 2 spell slots. Yeah, this is it. So the way that warlocks have such limited spells, even at what? I was so confused about this. I guess yeah, like their spell casting is very limited. Even it's not until 11th level that she gets a 3rd spell slot. So she literally only gets to cast 2 spells of any level. But she gets her spell slots back on a short rest. That's the difference. That's why it's balanced so differently. So she's already used one of her spell slots to cast that hex, which I didn't realize. But anyway, she's jumped down there. She rolled a decent acrobatics check, so she'll take only 1 point of fall damage. And then she's going to blast. She's going to shoot an Eldritch Blast at the creature that Pando is facing.
Thanks, girl.
That's a 14 to hit, which is just enough to hit. 2 points of damage, which is not a lot, but it's a hit. And that's her turn.
Okay.
Freya.
Freya is going to use her dash and dash down this way, turn around, dash back up to flank. Going 10 feet in one direction with that.
You don't need to dash to do that.
No, but I want to.
Well, but
Okay,
you're
but you
using
have
an
to-
action then.
You have to use your action to dash.
I know. So I'm using my action to dash, but I'm
Okay.
using my charge. And when I dash, and I dash in 10 straight feet for the end of it, I get a +5 of damage on the melee attack bonus action that I'm going to do.
Okay.
So that's why I'm doing that. And I'm going to use my Morning Star, which has the +8.
All right. I just need to read
You,
this
you
again
need to
real
read
quick.
that. Just read on my little,
Yeah.
my charger.
When you use the dash action. Oh, so your bonus action is to make the attack.
My bonus action's to make the attack,
Got
and
it.
if I run in 10 straight feet prior to that, I get +5 in damage.
Cool. So I just want to remind you that the sacrifice you're making here is you're taking one less attack on your turn to do this. So the benefit is you're getting this bonus to damage, but the bonus action only allows you, when you do the charger, the bonus action only allows you to do one attack. Whereas right now,
Oh,
your
I could flank.
your action lets you take 2 attacks.
Yeah.
So there's
and
a
because I'm
trade-off.
flanked. Okay, I thought I could
There's a
flank them
trade-off
and
here.
still take the 2, but I can't. Okay, so I won't
You can't,
dash.
be-
I'll just come
because,
around.
Because charger only allows you to use your bonus action to get 1 attack.
I'll charge when I go after that guy. But this guy, I'll come around. I'll use two attacks.
Okay.
I'm gonna come around and flank him and do 21
21 hits.
and 17.
Also hits.
And
Do
we're
your
gonna
damage.
do piercing, 12 of piercing, and 12 of piercing.
Okay. What does it look like when you obliterate this creature?
Oh, just twigs and berries flying everywhere.
Twigs.
Like a balloon full of twigs exploding.
Like a garbage bag.
Full of chicken soup out of a second-story window.
It's. Have you ever seen a lawn refuse removal day in Elm Grove, where the folks come by? Yeah. You annihilate, dude.
Yeah, you
There's
know
some
what?
good
That
ones.
was.
There's some good ones.
Has this been pooping?
I'll just
Not yet.
say I made a huge mistake earlier. I did not roll the right way, but it is what it is. We've probably missed the opportunity to actually kill him off before he got down here because I get
Well, you
too
have
excited.
obliterated one of the horrific monstrosities that came out of the tubes.
Alrighty,
So that's pretty good.
that's something.
The other horrific monstrosity, though, that's right in front of Pando, is going to attack her. And because I want to roll my DM dice, the first attack is 13 to hit. Does that hit your bear?
No.
13 now.
Okay. And the second attack.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Yes, armor class 11.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm
Yep.
sorry.
And the second attack is a 22 to hit.
Oof,
So you're
ouch.
going to enjoy 2 hits, totaling 9 points
Okay.
of piercing damage to Yabair.
Yeah,
Pot
bear.
him. It is your turn.
Watching pink goo fly everywhere. Potom all of a sudden gets kind of a sinking feeling. And he starts looking for the children that are supposed to be here.
Good call.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I think we just killed one.
We may have. Well, they're twigs. He just gathered.
12.
You
It is a
don't.
battlefield scenario. He's looking quickly.
Yeah. You don't see any obvious sign of the children. What I will give you is in the remaining tubes, you do see some shapes that
There
Are
four
humanoid.
remaining tubes.
are vaguely humanoid.
There are four remaining.
The creatures are vaguely humanoid.
Yeah, but they're a bunch of twigs together, animated like the tree was.
Okay.
But I didn't make. But that doesn't take your action because I'm a benevolent dungeon master.
Oh yeah, you are.
Well, everybody else jumped.
What could go wrong?
I'm only the smallest guy, so it's more like 20 feet.
I was just gonna
I
say
should have given you my
distance is
grappling hook.
relative.
No, there might be something good along the way. Let's see here.
Dude.
What else? What else could I do in the? When does the spell end? Straight up to 1 minute. All right, we're gonna save that. Let's dash. So I think I have 30 feet. 25 feet.
Little legs.
So it gives me 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Puts me here. Of course, it has to wrap all the way around. I'm coming, guys. I really got to start working out.
It was a really good jump. You guys all did a really good jump. That looked cool.
And that
Glad you didn't twist your ankle, Freya.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not quite there.
Can you throw anything?
Throw his voice. Could throw his voice.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make
Can you
sense.
kick? Go get
Nothing
your
else that I have really makes sense
Phaser?
at the moment. So,
Not the phaser?
Okay.
no, I guess, yeah. Why not? We'll use the phaser on that guy. How does a 22
Oh.
On which guy?
on the dude that
The
Pando's
twig
fighting?
guy?
Yep.
Definitely hits.
Can he?
Most assuredly.
Ugh. Why? It's a 2d8 for 4 points of damage.
He bursts into flame and crumbles to the ground.
He freezes over.
Oh, it's
And
a frosty
it's a ray
phaser?
of frost.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
It's,
Uh,
he took inspiration from
it's like
Freya.
it-
he
It's like dry ice.
crystallizes and tinkles it down to the ground.
Oh,
Oh.
snow.
Yeah,
I made
he's gone.
snow.
Yeah, you annihilated him.
Potom again
Can I have that crispy little critter?
has a feeling
Thanks.
That wasn't very much, huh?
that could have been a child.
That'd be fun, huh? It'd be fun if you were just killing
You
We're
kids.
just
said
killing
that they were
kids.
definitely like
It's a lot better
twigs.
killing kids than touching them.
At least you're not terrorizing them and demanding they touch you. All right. Now it is Tentathian's turn. Once again. At the top of his turn, he will. He has so many options. He's gonna do something fun. He likes to have fun. He's He's a fun guy. He's gonna look at. He's gonna look at. Who feels like a threat?
I mean, we
Freya
just took
is
out his.
raging.
Yeah, no,
There's
he's gonna
two
look
people.
at. He's gonna look at Freya. He's gonna look at Freya. He's gonna reach into a pouch, pull out some ingredients. Something. He's holding something in his hand. He's going to sort of toss into the air, say a phrase you don't understand, and he's going to toss the dust from this material that he had in his hand at you. And Freya, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Nine. Doesn't do it, does it?
No. No, that's fun. The rest of you watch as this mage points at Freya, and the dust in his hand seems to fly across the room and coat her body. And she cries out as suddenly her body starts to contort and compress. And you watch as your friend Freya transforms into a sea turtle.
Oh, you're so cute.
I'm gonna lay some eggs.
She's a sea turtle now. Just flopping on the brick.
How could I be like a 6-foot circumference shelled leatherback? Sea turtle?
Yeah. You're that. What you see is what you get.
That's a green
You're a
turtle.
sea turtle.
Bandanas and some
I'm a
nunchucks.
Hawaiian
You're a
green
sea turtle with flippers, sitting on some bricks.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah, turned you into a sea turtle. Polymorph's a bitch.
Polymorph bitch.
And the tank behind him continues to pulse, and the liquid continues to drain. At this point, it's drained just enough that Potom, you can see, just above the level of the liquid, a shining metallic cage just starting to reveal itself. And the red pulse has increased in frequency inside this liquid. And it is at this moment that the second pair of tubes shatters, and bursting forth from those tubes is another set of twiggy, shrubby creatures that claw their way forward. These look a little bigger, a little thornier, a little more fully developed than the first that you saw. And they kind of shake and chitter and fast zombie style come towards you.
Like Dawn of the Dead remake
Yeah,
style.
jerky, like slow and then
Twinnies
really
and
fast.
terrifying.
Yeah, they're not. It's not good. And then now it's your turn, Pando.
Okay. She saw how easy these guys were to kill, so she's actually going for this guy.
Okay.
He's wearing a claw thing, right? Or like an arm.
No, he just shoved his arm into a tube that like grabbed his
blood.
arm and seemed to like flood him with this purple goo.
Okay, so
And then
he
it
doesn't have like
released
a
him.
he doesn't have like a
Like
apparatus.
a
on
smash
him.
arm.
Mm-mm. No, he's just a loose
Okay.
guy, but he is glowing purple softly
Yeah.
and seems to have fully healed every scratch that was on him.
Delightful. Can we, when we battle, like aim for certain areas? Or is that not how this works?
Yeah, no, you kind of can, but usually the trade-off, so it's always like a DM's choice. So the kind of trade-off is, unless you have a specific skill that says you can do this, which most classes do not, The kind of trade-off is I will, if I want to let you do it, I will make the armor class of the specific thing you want to hit higher, so it's harder to hit.
Sure.
the thing.
So I can't just like go for the jugular.
No, but should you, if you want to do a called shot, and if it seems narratively appropriate to me, I'll just set a higher armor class, and you can try to do it. And if you do it, it's like a risk reward thing. Like
Sure.
it's harder to hit, but you
Sure.
might do more damage.
And if it says +6 to hit, that's what I add on to my d20, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think as a bear, I wouldn't be going for like an elbow. I'd be going for this. Do you want to pause?
No, it's okay. Keep going.
Okay.
I'll be fast.
Well, so the choice you have is you can just attack
Yeah.
and be like, I'm gonna try to bite this dude, or you can be like, I'm gonna specifically try to attack this
If he had
vital
an
area.
apparatus, I was trying to like
Yeah.
bite it off, but I'll just go for the attack.
Okay.
And I have 5 + 6. Does that hit him?
No, it doesn't.
Does it
Does not. You
So my bite doesn't hit.
you chomp down at him, and he just sort of steps to the side
As he does.
as you chomp down.
And then I go for my claw.
Okay.
$16. Because it's +6 to hit again.
16 does hit. And just so you know, you can. Oh, because you're using that. Got it. So 16. Well, wait for it. Is he going to use a spell to protect himself from that? How many of these has he used? I better be keeping track of this.
Like 5.
This is all his spells are gone. He's got. Sorry, my other encounter tracker that I have on my iPad tracks spells, but the one on D&D Beyond does not, which is a little disappointing, but they're still working on it. So at level 1, he still has that. At level 2, he has that. At level 3, he has that. At level 4, he has that.
I missed my bite. We're figuring out if
5.
if my claw hit. Yeah.
That. He casts shield, and your claws skitter off
Okay.
a shield of magical energy, and you do not hit. Air's turn. Air is going to race forward her 30 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and is now cannot, without casting Misty Step, cannot get within melee range. So instead, she's gonna Eldritch Blast again. This time at the twig to the left. That's a 20. Definitely hits. 7 damage. Okay. And does she have a bonus action that she can use? Anything useful? She's going to put a Hexblade's Curse on the mage. So he's now hexed and Hexblade's Cursed. That's about all the cool stuff she can put on him. And that's her turn. So Next up is Freya.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about being transformed into something.
Yeah, so so you're a turtle.
Yeah.
You get a turn as a sea turtle, which means you can flip or flop your way to do stuff.
Can I feel anything, or am I like? I mean, is there any indication that I can change back somehow?
You can make an Arcana check and see if you know anything about the polymorph spell.
No, I don't.
Then yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
Let's see. So as a sea turtle, you have a on land movement speed of 5 feet. You can do a bite attack if you can get within 5 feet of someone.
Okay.
And your armor class is 17 because you have a big old shell.
I'll just go like that, 5 feet, and I will not do anything else.
Yeah, I think that's it. Potom. Oh, sorry. Twig blight. The twig blight on the right is going to start to move towards you, Freya, but then the Tentathian is going to cry out, "Not the turtle, you fool!" and sort of gesture, and instead that twig blight is going to start moving towards air. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can't get there. So instead it's going to dash to get within melee range, but it does not have an attack because it used its action. Potom, your turn.
Like,
let's Ray of Frost phaser that twig
Okay.
in front of us.
That hits.
Perfect. Oh, I see why it didn't pop up for me. For the love of, it's a 2d8.
5 is enough. It's already been hit a fair amount
All right.
by air, and it shatters and is defeated. Just killing kids.
I think that the kids, maybe the kids are the goo. God only knows.
It's gonna be heartbreaking.
I know we already heard what he was listening to. I mean, and what mood he was in while he was thinking about this stuff. Jeez.
You know what? Potom is going to just jump this railing. He's got to get across this.
Yeah, man, do
battlefield.
it.
So,
Roll an acrobatics check.
Please spot him.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
13.
Okay, that's good.
That
That's
works.
good.
That works.
You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
All right.
2, 3, 4, and 5. Now that we're here, Potom would really like to take a better look around at this sort of storage area. Is there anything that he can use for at his advantage? Are the children visible now that he's down the next layer down? What else is what can he use at his advantage?
Make a perception check.
This wouldn't be an investigation check.
I mean, if you want to use your action to investigate the storage area, that's something
Yes.
different.
Oh, I guess that's what I would like to do.
Okay, then make an investigation check. I was giving you a free perception check versus.
Oh, I see. 17.
Okay. Anything that would be useful to you? So, unfortunately, there's not a lot in this storage area that you think would be immediately useful to you. There's a lot in this storage area that you think would be useful to you. There are significant amounts of very high quality alchemical ingredients. There are materials that could be used to, while not build the cages that you build, to materials that could be used to adapt or connect them to things. It's a well-stocked laboratory, and there's a lot here that you'd love to have regular access to. Like if you were set up like this, you could restart your whole operation. Like it's a well-stocked, well-funded, well-organized laboratory by somebody who knows what they're doing, or at least knows how to choose the materials that they need. There's also a pretty decent wine cellar, and an array of foods that look to be very well preserved and very high quality. This is pretty good. There's a lot of good stuff here. Unfortunately, none of it immediately reveals itself to you as like, oh, this would be great to help me kill a guy or not die. But it looks very useful when you get out of the problem you're in. Later. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right, very good.
No sign of that. No sign of the little mechanism that we're looking for.
The
bottom cage?
The bottom key.
Yeah.
We gotta
it's
come
in
up with
here.
a cool name for that, but
Oh, I didn't know that
Yeah.
it was a cage.
It's warp core.
Yeah.
we now come to Tantathian's turn.
Almost too close for that turn.
I mean, you're pretty up close. But he's not really an up close guy. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is what the exocomp was supposed to do.
okay. So on his turn, he's going to cast a spell, and he is going to
Leave the total-
disappear from sight. His form shimmers and vanishes. And that's it. But at the end of his turn, the machine, or the sort of vat of fluid is going to continue to drain. And at this point, it's almost nearly emptied, and at this point everyone can see that submerged in this purple glowing liquid was a glistening metal cage similar to some of those that you've seen inside Podham's machines and similar to the ones that you saw pass through the portal. But this one looks like it's been tweaked, adjusted, played with. It's larger. Podham, you hate the look of this thing.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
It almost looks quasi-organic. So it looks like it started with a poorly designed prototype of the cage that you've built. It has a fairly large gem, a substantial size ruby, or some similar stone in the center of it. This big metal cage has been added onto and added onto and added onto, like iterative layers of cages stacked over, like he built a cage over a cage over a cage. And each layer of this cage gets less technological, less logical, less geometric, and more twisted, more organic, more random, until the outside layer looks more like almost like twisting vines, but they're made of wire and metal, and they extend out to the edges of this vat where these cables run off from the sides. And this gem in the center is now pulsing faster and faster and faster as it's no longer submerged in the purple liquid.
Could I ask can we see where the purple liquid is draining to? Is
No.
it on the floor or is it just gone? It's just draining down?
No, but you can infer because the tubes that the twig monsters came out of burst. So you can sort of infer that they burst potentially from the pressure of having a bunch of this liquid suddenly forced into those tubes very rapidly.
So is it like squirted out all around? I mean, is there
Yeah,
like
it's all over
purple
the
goo
floor.
all over the place?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's goo all over the floor at this
So
point.
we have touched it and not had
Well,
any
that
adverse
was my
effects.
question. Do I have goo on me? Am I?
What you're saying is, have you as a turtle submerged yourself
Yeah.
in the mutagenic ooze?
Correct.
Yeah, you've touched it.
Yeah. Okay.
You're all up in the ooze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I? Is it on my paws?
Yeah, it's all over your paws. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's got ooze on them except Bottom at this point.
Okay.
But the most significant thing that happens right now is that the last two tubes here do something different than what you saw happen before. They actually both drain entirely and very rapidly. And what is revealed inside each of those tubes are people. In the tube to the left, you see what looks like an late adolescent male sort of deer person, which you would assume to be Yarbo, Fencel's son. In the tube on the right-hand side, you see a humanoid figure that you don't recognize.
Don't you kill
Looks-
these babies.
It looks like a half-elf, middle-aged perhaps, dressed in sort of traveling gear. Both are drenched in this purple goo, but both are conscious and look terrified and are held in metal bands secured to the sides of this tube.
Inside it?
Inside the tube. And the last thing that you notice is as the goo in the central vat lowers just enough, it uncovers and reveals a face, which is a sort of elongated, snouted, warthoggy looking face that you have to assume is the face of Truffle, Rence's daughter, who takes a gasping breath as her face is as her head is finally above this liquid, but her eyes are glowing purple as she looks wildly around, like sort of disoriented. That's what happens on this combat round. They are revealed, but not free. And it's Pando's turn.
You should bash it. Try bashing that thing open.
I mean, I don't want to bash because I don't want to be totally saturated in it.
I think we are.
Well, it's just on the ground, right? Or is it
Yeah.
already all over
There's just
us?
little puddles and stuff on the ground. Yeah, like it's not like the entire floor of this
Yeah.
laboratory is soaked in this stuff, but two of these tubes burst on each side. Two of these tubes burst open and dumped a few gallons of this stuff up. The twig blights were covered in it.
Yeah.
So like it's around. You're touching
Sure.
it, but you're not like.
I just don't know what the tipping point is of like when enough is on me that I become a twig thing.
Yeah, bro. Fair question.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna burst it. But can I like unplug? Like as a bear, can I go through and like detach the plugs from it and stuff? Because
like tear up the cables and
isn't
stuff.
this contributing to its power?
I mean, you don't know how it works, but
Right.
those two, sort of spiraling towers, sort of conduit things, have energy flowing through them. There's cables cables and tubes connecting them and
Right.
the glass tubes and the central vat.
Yeah.
Like they're clearly a part of.
Can I use my
Part of
bite
this.
and my claw to, like,
Yeah.
annihilate the connection?
Absolutely, make your attacks.
Okay. That's going to be a 26.
Okay, that hits.
Natty 20.
Nice.
And so then my damage. D8.
Now remember, double the dice, so that's 8 plus whatever your. Or sorry, my crits are you do that plus your max damage. So, what's your max damage if you hadn't rolled this at all, but you rolled an 8? What would you have gotten?
I don't know the question.
What does your damage say?
My damage says
D8 plus.
4.
Okay,
Or there's an 8 in front of it as well.
don't worry about that.
Okay.
So the max damage you could do is 8 plus 4 is 12,
Yes.
plus another 4.
Oh.
That's your crit.
Okay.
So 16
yes.
points of damage.
I'll rip those
All right,
wires
so that's your
out.
bite attack.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you chomp down on some of these cables and tear them away from the framework, and then you attack with your claws.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your claw attack.
Okay. $14.
Okay, 14's enough to hit some cables.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 4, I would be 10.
Don't worry about that because you didn't crit. So just roll 2d6.
Is
and
crit
add 'em up.
natural 20?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Someday
problem.
I'm going to actually learn this, guys. 2, 3, 5, 9.
9. Okay. Very good. I think very handily you tear away the majority of the cables and tubes and stuff that are connecting the things on this side, and purple goo sprays all over the floor.
Damn it.
There's a fair amount of it now on your
in my
paws
mouth.
and face. Maybe not in your mouth so much, but it's you get a lot of it on you, and it's pouring out the side of this vat. The tube that Yarbo is in is now has already been emptied of this stuff. But the disconnecting the cables seems to have done something, and you actually see Yarbo kind of twitching and like he's being shocked or jolted by something that's going on.
Okay.
So there's an effect here for sure. You're not entirely sure what it was.
Gotcha.
Air is up next. Air is deeply concerned about the disappearance of this wizard. I don't know if she can do anything about it. Does she have... Nope. She sure doesn't. All right, well, but at least Air has a target. So Air is going to use Booming Blade as a cantrip, which she always does when she attacks. She's going to attack the twig blight in front of her with her longsword. That's a 26 to hit, which certainly will. That is 7 plus the Booming Blade. That's 13. That is enough to obliterate that final twig blight. So, she has one attack left, but no target to attack. And so she is going to move 30 feet, seeing what Pando's up to. I think she's going to move. No, you know what? I think what Air would do at this point is seeing one of the children is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the direction of Yarbo, with the intent of trying to assist when she can. Freya.
Let's see. So, really want to change back. I look longingly over at Bottom to see if he has any ideas.
You can talk to yourself.
I mean, polymorph is a very annoying spell, and
It is.
as a DM, I apologize for using it on you.
Well, thanks.
But this guy's a transmutation wizard, and
So-
it's the best spell he has.
I think that, see, I'm right here and I buy a whole bunch of goo.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to bathe it. I'm just going to crawl through the goo and I'm going to roll around in it and
All
see
right.
if it does something to me
Yeah.
to get me out of being a turtle.
Yes. Yes. Make a wisdom saving throw.
No, wisdom's the worst. Can I make a strength saving throw?
You may not. Especially, I don't know why you're upset. Seems like
Oh.
a saving throw you want to fail.
Oh, that I want to fail it? No, I don't. Apparently, I don't fail
Well,
it.
you succeeded at the saving throw. So you immerse yourself in the goo, and your whole self feels
Feel kind of
wiggly,
wiggly?
but your sense of self as a turtle is
Remains
too
the
strong. You refuse to be changed,
This
and
is
you
kinda
remain
nice.
stable. So you know what? I want to go for a swim.
Pretty slippery now.
I feel like I should just ride the currents. This is feeling pretty good. But you are drenched in goo.
I'm drenched in goo.
Potom.
I gotta get across this goddamn battlefield.
It's
This
taking
is
a while. Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Large.
It's very large. It's a big
Got
battlefield.
very little legs.
It's almost like he set up a killing field full of hazards.
So I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is me dashing.
You made it to the lower stairs.
Yay!
I'm coming, guys. Let's rend this child out of there.
Okay. Make your attack.
Just have the exocom break that shit. Plus my proficiency bonus, and I have to do it over here. Okay. Roll it. Oh, stupid getting stuck in the corner. 9.
Yeah, 9's no good. So this, even though he's just smashing glass, this is pretty heavy duty reinforced stuff, and the exocomp swings, but the angle's not good. It makes a dent, and you see spider webs of cracks, but doesn't damage it in a significant way.
Okay.
All right. It's our friend Tentathian's turn.
What? He ran away. Doesn't get one.
He kind of does, because turns out he's a really powerful wizard, and this isn't just invisibility. And that is why, right now, a fireball erupts here, targeting both Pando, Air, and the Steel Defender. I need all three of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's up top, right? Dexterity.
Yeah, in the left-hand corner, under saving throws. Air fails.
Thank you.
The exocomp, not only does the exocomp ultra succeed, he had a natty 20 to make it
Nice.
21, but all the same really cool thing that Air saw with Potom's shield erupts across the exocomp's back. A whole bunch of plates open up. There's a little magical glow as we cast Absorb Elements.
Ooh, nice.
Dang.
Nice.
Oh, wait, I guess I don't.
Pando, how'd you roll?
I didn't roll well, sir. I rolled a 6.
Okay, so you and Air have both failed at your saving throw. So you, unlike the exocomp, are going to take full damage as I roll this 8d6. fireball.
No. Oh, that's
So
Oh, that's a
burnt.
lot of sixes, y'all.
Oh,
What the
shit.
mother?
You are each going
H?
to take 35 points of fire
What?
damage.
No.
You
You got.
you in fact are.
Oh,
Nope.
no.
Yeah.
Right now I'm not.
He's
raged
really
anymore.
a strong mage.
temporary hit points.
So
Oh.
when it goes below this, I turn back into Pando and it deducts from hers.
The remaining damage, yeah.
So Pando takes 10.
Correct. Also, Air is unconscious.
No, my
He
friend.
collapses to the ground, smoldering.
But where is the mage?
Potom, the exocom, takes half damage, which will be 16 points of fire damage, plus whatever absorb elements is going to do.
Well, so absorb elements being casted. I cast it at a second level. So that will just be banked until the exocom's next turn.
Okay.
So 16.
16 points of fire damage. Okay, yeah, so rough, admittedly rough. Potom, make a. Actually, just tell me what's your passive perception.
14.
Yeah, not enough. Okay. Pando,
Mm-hmm.
it's your turn. Oh, sorry. Fun end of round thing that I forgot to talk about.
Oh, I can't wait.
The remaining goo has now drained out of the central chamber,
Uh-huh.
and Truffle is revealed. She is chained to what looks to be like a steel post in the middle of this. The post is connected with wires to the caged, sort of twisted warp core, which is now pulsing at a very rapid pace. And her eyes are glowing a bright purple as she looks back and forth frantically in all directions. The two creatures, both Yarbo and the humanoid or the half-elven looking guy in the other tube, are both looking in rough shape. Yarbo doesn't seem to be reacting the same as both of the other two. You, at a guess, would assume that because of the damage you did to these cables, he's not being affected by the same process that the other two are being affected by right now. But the guy in the other tube is starting to have the same reaction as Truffle. His eyes are not glowing as brightly purple, but he's starting to act really spastic, even though neither of them are immersed in this goo anymore. The goo is basically gone from these tubes, but they are both like shuddering and twitching, and
Yeah.
their eyes are starting to glow. Your turn, Panda.
You can veto me. Is there... I just feel like this will probably go on for a while because it's complex. Is there a way to pause it here, or can you not pause in the middle of battle?
Oh no, we can pause anytime. We can pause anytime.
I'm
Yeah.
just so
So if it's
sleepy.
yeah, no, it's fine. If it's getting late, this is
so
not a bad.
sleepy.
This is not a bad place to pause.
Okay.
We're at a bit of a like moment before a climax. Like
I know.
this is a pretty
so
good
veto
cliffhanger.
me. Veto
No, no.
me if you guys want to.
This is a pretty good cliffhanger moment. If you all want to pause it here,
Katie, Alex,
I'm good.
all right.
with a pause.
Let's do it.
so,
okay.
So here's
I
the
want to
deal.
be like fully in it.
We're
when
gonna
we...
freeze it at the top of the round.
Yes.
It's Pando's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the scene as we come to a pause in this episode. The entire room is splattered with purple goo and the remnants of twig blights. Your enemy, Esterath Tentathian, invisible to your sight, can be heard cackling from somewhere in the room as he watches the fruits of his long experimental labor come to pass. The machine that he has built is building towards some kind of experimental climax as the transmutation magic that has been empowered in this space pours into the two remaining humanoids strapped into the machine. And a sea turtle flops helplessly
In goo.
in the purple goo.
Slapping a fin and watching it fly.
But as you all turn and look at this central chamber, you watch as the pulsing red energy of this gem increases in cadence faster and faster until it's oscillating at such a rate that Potom, you grimace because you've seen this before and it's not good. It doesn't end well. This is what experiments looked like when they failed in your early days, until suddenly the gem shatters. But it doesn't shatter out, at least not for long. It explodes for about half a second, and then it collapses back in on itself, and a single bright glowing shard of red shoots forward and embeds itself into Truffle's back. Her body arches, her eyes turn from just glowing purple orbs to lantern beams, million candle watt, bright purple beams firing out of her eyes. And at the same time, the humanoid figure in that other tube, that half-elf wanderer who had been abducted at some point, he seems to be sucked into himself. He suddenly, it's like all the moisture in his body evaporates at once. He becomes instantly like a desiccated mummy and collapses into dust. And you see Truffle's body start to grow and pulse and throb and shift and melt. Parts of her cheeks start to boil out. The top of her head seems to melt backwards. Her snout twists and sprays off in a horny projection of thorns to the left. One of her arms twists in a strange way and seems to turn into almost a bat wing for a moment before it curls back inside her body. Her rib cage opens and you see her organs exposed inside, but they're coated in what almost seems like a shining metal, until suddenly her skin seems to wrap around every part of her body, encasing her into what almost appears to be a cocoon that is pulsing at the same cadence of the gem when you first walked into the room. And when we play again next time, you will find out what happens as the
Is
cocoon...
Dude alive here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yarbo has been untouched. But when we play next time, you will find out what happens as you look into that central chamber and you see the cocoon start to split up the middle, a bright purple light glowing from the center, and a single clawed hand reaches out from the split.
And Potom has seen this?
All of you are seeing this.
No, I'm
But
saying
Potom
Potom has
has.
seen it in the past.
Potom recognized the oscillation of the gem.
Okay.
What he recognized was the decaying oscillation of the gem as it
Not
failed.
this exact scenario.
No. What
Okay.
he was recognizing was a mechanical failure of the power source.
Gotcha.
As it drained, as it was fully drained. That's where we'll leave it tonight.